Good evening and welcome to Ray Skillman Stadium at Center Grove High School for tonight's Class 6A Regional Championship between the number 3 Center Grove Trojans and the number 4 Southport Cardinals. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Conrad along with Ted Kitchell. We welcome you to our live coverage of Center Grove Trojan football in the 41st Annual IHSAA State Football Tournament, proudly presented by the Indianapolis Colts. And Ted Kitchell, we have an epic Southside showdown tonight, the Trojans versus the Cardinals, and we're expecting a capacity crowd for this one tonight.
Well, it should be an outstanding football game. I mean, Center Grove has played great football all year, and Southport has played maybe even a little bit better in that they come in, their record is 11-0. Center Grove stands at 10-1. Only the Ben Davis Giants able to beat this very good Center Grove football team. So this Southport team, I think, feels pretty good about itself. Obviously, nobody's been able to put a loss on them all year. So they obviously have a lot of confidence. They do a lot of things well. They run the football well. They throw the football well. On paper, they look very, very good. But we've heard and seen that before. We've seen a lot of good teams that come here to Center Grove Football Stadium, and Eric Moore breaks them down. So it should be a very, very good football game here tonight.
Last week, Center Grove had to travel 200 miles round trip to Jeffersonville to claim its 9th sectional title, beating the Red Devils 35-0. And Ted, the Trojans look very impressive against New Albany, and Jeffersonville outscoring those two Southern Indiana schools 105-14 in the sectional. The Trojans will try to keep that Trojan Express going tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are very happy that they are back home on a fast track on the field turf, because last week we played on you remember it rained about 2 inches, and it was Bermuda grass. It was wet. It was slick. And, Max Norris had really a hard time turning the corner, as did Hudson and some of the other running backs for Center Grove. But in both cases, they were very impressive. I mean, they had the New Albany game was well in hand throughout. And the Jeffersonville game, even though Jeffersonville gave up a good fight and showed some good courage and played some good football, Center Grove pretty much dominated that football game. I think the most impressive thing about the Center Grove football team is that they can obviously run it, which they've always been able to do, but they're very impressive passing the football. Luke Calvert has been an outstanding leader for this offensive squad. And I think that you'll see Southport have a very difficult time trying to stop both the run and the pass here tonight.
For the Southport Cardinals, they held off Tech last week in the sectional championship game 27-10 to win its 3rd sectional championship in school history and its first since 1990. And Ted, many believe tonight's regional final here for Southport may be the biggest football game in their school history.
And I think it's important, and it's worth noting that, you say, well, they beat Tech. Who's Tech? Well, Tech's been a pretty good football team all year long. I mean, if you remember the first game of the year, I think Carmel beat Tech 6-2. So, Tech had a defense, and everybody, there were a number of coaches that played Tech that felt like their defense was as good as anybody they had played against all year, and yet this Southport team put 27 points against them. So I think you have to come in and not fall asleep. I mean, obviously you have to realize that this is a really good football team. They have a tremendous amount of confidence. Whenever you're playing a team like this that comes in and they're undefeated, they're probably going to play even better than they truly are, because they just feel like they're really, really, really good, like that nobody's capable of beating them. So don't be surprised if Eric Moore tries to, ground pound it a little bit, make them really play some defense out there tonight. But it should be an outstanding football game. But I think this Southport team could be well, you said the biggest game in their football history. Probably is. I mean, and they're playing one of the best football teams that they're ever going to play in Center Grove.
Tonight's pregame show is being presented by Allstate Insurance, the Bontrager Agency of Greenwood. Personal financial representative John Bontrager and his family have been a part of the Greenwood Center Grove community for more than 17 years. John provides a high level of service for more than 2,500 customers. The Bontrager Agency is located at 395 South State Road 135, or contact the agency at 317-888-3200. You're in good hands with Allstate. We are expecting a capacity crowd for tonight's Class 6A Regional Championship game between 10-1 Center Grove and 11-0 Southport. Up next, my conversation with Center Grove head coach Eric Moore on the Allstate Insurance pregame show. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Meet Tommy. Tommy's not sure which sport he will play in high school someday. But no matter what he ends up choosing, playing sports in high school will help pave the way to a happier, healthier life. All Tommy needs to do is make up his mind. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. Pure launching pad for life.
From all across the state,
Rushville,
South Bend, Washington, Lakeland High School,
Culver Academies, North Vermilion.
we represent 160,000 student athletes.
We are the voices
of 410 member school athletes.
The IHSAA Student Advisory Committee is made up of 18 student athletes who organize the Student Leadership Conference and participate in state championship events as award presenters in many different roles.
We represent you.
We are the IHSAA Student Advisory Committee.
Pure spirit, pure sport,
Pure Indiana.
Welcome back to Center Grove football. I'm Kevin Conrad, now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Eric Moore. Coach, first of all, congratulations, sectional champs in sectional number 8, number 9 for the school, number 8 for you. Just a great accomplishment.
Well, we're proud of the things you do as a coach and as a team, as a program, and people. The longer you do this, and the more success you have, people think the sectionals just sort of come and go. There's a lot of sports in our school that that have a hard time competing for sectionals. So we continue to learn to respect that. It may not happen every year, and there's a good enough talent that you have to work for it. So it's one of our goals, and we want to acquire that goal each year. It's important. It's important for our program, and it's just if you want to keep playing in the playoffs, you got to win that sectional. And it's always sometimes the hardest thing to deal with is that sectional, because now you throw in the fall break and you're dealing with fall break, and then you got one game in fall break, and how the team going to react. And then last week is our first week back to school. It was a long travel. How are we going to react? So it's interesting. You find a lot out about your kids.
Also in this game against Jeffersonville, Coach, you talk about adversity. Not only did you travel 100 miles, but also got to play on the grass field for the first time this season, and the field was not in very good shape at all.
No, and also it was a warm day last Friday, and our air conditioning went out on the charter bus, and we sweated like pigs to about Seymour. Then we switched guys, and then unfortunately myself as the offensive coaches sweated the whole way to Jeffersonville. So by the time I got to Jeffersonville, I was hot under the collar. And then we went out and looked at the field, and I didn't even go out there. I just want to hear different people's opinions, and it went from the worst ever to not so bad. But once you got out there on it, you could see the underneath of it. It was pretty bad. No footing outside the box, and it really played into their game plan. I talked to their coach. He's a great guy, and we talked about it. They had the perfect storm, getting us in the championship game, getting us down in Jeffersonville when we started school back on a rainy week. So we prevailed. You deal with adversity, you overcome adversity, and that's what it's all about. So I love the way our kids handled it. They stacked 10 guys in the box because they knew we couldn't run outside without falling down, and it worked for a long time during the course of the game. Then we opened up some different things. Passing game helped us a little bit, but we slipped and fell on that too. We didn't handle the ground and the turf nearly as well as they did, and I really attribute that to just never playing on it all year. We don't even practice on it, and there was no reason to go up and get on mud and get groin pulls and sprained ankles in preparation for the game. So we chose to stay on our field and try to be as effective as we could.
Coach, I felt like in the first half of this sectional championship game, your special teams played a really big role. Matt O'Brien flips the field sets up your defense very, very well, and then the offense scores that first touchdown. But also right before halftime, that was a critical score when you're able to recover the kickoff.
Yeah, we had a drive there in the middle that resulted in a good punt return, and then we scored to make it 14-0, and then we got the kickoff return, wham, we're in. So and that's what I love about our team. It can be 7-0 or 0-0, and pretty soon, if you don't watch out, we can throw 14 on you really quick. But special teams have been huge this year, and as your son is a part of our special teams, and we're hoping that he keeps continuing his growth. He's really doing a good job. His ball's flying off the tee right now. We really worked on that this summer because we were sort of left just lifeless on special teams because we lost a great kicker in Benny Wheeler last year, and we didn't know what we were going to do. And honestly, in the summertime, we couldn't even hit an extra point. I didn't think. I feel like an elementary coach. And we really worked on that, and we really emphasized. I sort of took charge of that and said, you know what, I'm going to live and die with this one. The offense is what it is, and the defense I'll entrust. But we got to get better on special teams. There's going to be so many games that we play where we're okay on offense with their talent, and defense we're way overmatched athletically. So we got to figure out a way to shorten the field and turn it upside down. And I think our kids have really bought into that this year, and we've been tremendous. We don't have the strength to kick it in the end zone. So we pooch kick it, sky kick it, and it's worked. I mean, everybody sees it on film. They can prepare for it. I think tonight they're going to be prepared for it. I thought everybody was really prepared for it. Just sometimes kids make mistakes, and you make a big playoff at it. And Connor Steeb is a tough kid. He's hard-nosed. He's fast. He wants to play. You're going to get those 10, 12 plays a game where you're going to get to go in there and maybe change the game, and he did. Last week when the postseason we don't give players of the week really, but he was my big play of the week person, and it was just huge that being physical, knocking a guy down, and getting a fumble totally turned the game around.
Coach, tonight's opponent, Southport, team that's only about 10, 20 minutes away from Center Grove. However, they don't play very much in football, only a couple of times since 1985. So just your thoughts about this Cardinals team tonight. They're undefeated and ranked number 4 in the state.
Yeah, very interesting. Hats off to them for an undefeated season. That's hard to do, and no matter what sport, what level, what classification. So that they've had a great year up to date, and it's going to be a challenge for us to come in here and match them mentally and emotionally. I don't know if we'll ever get as high as they get, probably because of what they're playing for and what we've experienced. It's two different things. My hope is that we can lean on them long enough to where they lose the emotion, because if they start to drop emotion, they'll go lower than we'll ever think about going. Because when you're on cloud 9, you fall off. It's tough to get back up. So we got to overcome that, a big emotional rush that they're going to have, and really control the big plays right off the bat, and stay in the game.
Coach, final question: just what do you got to get accomplished tonight to get this regional championship and get to the Final Four?
Well, there's a lot, and not knowing hardly anything about a team. Playing them for the first time, being so close, that's made a lot of interesting matchups. The big thing tonight is they have a high-powered offense that scored a lot of points, and and our defense has been phenomenal this season. But we play a mixed season, and you throw a LaSalle in there, and we've been trying to get healthy for 2 weeks, and I don't know if we've gotten any healthier. On defense, especially, we just seem a little bit, if you put a word to it, maybe 85% for whatever reason. That's when I watch our defense, I just see about 85% of effectiveness. We still make big plays, but physically, I think it's taken its toll on us. We're just trying to survive another week on defense. Offense, we seem to be rolling now, but in suffering the loss of Jacob Vance at center, we've had to move guys around now for the second week in a row, trying to find the right combination. That'd be big. Can we get out and run on these guys? Can we get out and throw? Can Cool Hand Luke handle the point guard position and distribute the ball where it needs to be and just not hurt us, And the big thing would be turnovers, because turnovers will key off momentum and emotion. So if we can keep that emotional thing out of the way, we have a chance. But if we don't, we come out here and lay an egg. And these Southport Cardinals are a pretty good football team.
All right, Center Grove head football coach Eric Moore, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight against the Cardinals.
If you're going to come, you better come quick. There's already been a lot of people out here putting the old blanket to the seat trick. But I hope you all come and enjoy a great regional high school football game. Go Trojans.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. for just 2%. They also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life. A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Meet Tommy. Tommy's not sure which sport he will play in high school someday. But no matter what he ends up choosing, playing sports in high school will help pave the way to a happier, healthier life. All Tommy needs to do is make up his mind. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. Pure launching pad for life.
Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Welcome inside Ray-Skillman Stadium for tonight's regional championship game between number 3 Center Grove and number 4 Southport. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Conrad, joined by Ted Kitchell. We welcome you to our live coverage of Center Grove Trojan football in the 41st annual IHSAA State Football Tournament, proudly presented by the Indianapolis Colts. We have a cool, crisp fall evening here at Ray-Skillman Stadium. Game time temperature 46 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. And Center Grove is 8-0 in regional championships, winning the South Regional 4 times over the past 5 years. Southport is 1-1 in regional title games, with its last regional back in 1990. Ted Kitchell, there's been a lot of hype building up all week long for tonight's South Side Showdown, and we're just now about 15 minutes from kickoff.
Well, it's a beautiful night. I mean, for mid-November, you could get any type of weather. I mean, you could get rain and cold and snow and wind, and you've actually got a very nice fall night. It's probably 40, 45 degrees, but no wind, and it should be an outstanding night. We've got a big crowd out. I mean, you look across, you can see a lot of the Southport people have come, driven the 20 or 25 minutes from Southport down here, but it should be an outstanding football game. Southport comes in here really playing good football, coming off a huge win over a very good Tech team last week in their sectional final. They're 11-0, have not been beaten all year, so their confidence is extremely high. I'm sure that they don't feel, that anyone can beat them. So I'm sure they're saying pretty much bring on anybody. We're more than happy to play whoever. But I think they'll find a very formidable opponent tonight in Center Grove. I mean, Center Grove is a team, the tougher the sledding, the better type team they are. I mean, and you better defensively be ready to stop the run and the pass, because this team can do both.
Again tonight, regional championship winner advances to the Final Four next Friday night to take on the winner between Warren Central and Pike. The Carmel Greyhounds, another mixed school in action tonight, playing up in Fort Wayne against Carroll High School. If the Greyhounds win that ball game, they will return home regardless to play in the Final Four next Friday night. So again, a lot of big regional matchups in Class 6A tonight. At this moment, we'll pause and have the playing of our national anthem again live from Ray-Skillman Stadium at Center Grove High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so bright as we meet, whose broad strides and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ringing over Thursday evening gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land, for the land, for the land of the brave, and the
We're just moments away before the kickoff between Center Grove and Southport in the Class 6A Regional Championship here in the southern part of the bracket. Center Grove defeating the Jeffersonville Red Devils 35-0 last Friday night to win sectional number 8, and for the Southport Cardinals knocking off Tech 27-10 in the sectional number 7 championship. And Ted, you would think only being about 10 miles apart between Southport and Center Grove that they would play quite a bit in football. But actually you go back to 1985 and they've only played twice, and those two times coming in the state tournament in sectional play, and both times the Southport Cardinals with wins over Center Grove, but these two teams just do not play during the regular season.
Yeah, they aren't that far away, but they kind of got mixed up in different conferences. Obviously, Center Grove got into the MIC conference, and they were traveling to all the bigger schools, plus the Terre Hautes. At that, for the last 25 years, we've been traveling to Terre Haute. Now they've added Pike and Lawrence Central. So, but even though they're close in proximity, they really haven't played that much football, so it should be interesting. I mean, you look across, and Southport obviously has a lot of confidence. Their fans have a lot of confidence. They brought a lot of people from Southport, and it should be a great football game.
Head coach of the Trojans, Eric Moore, in his 15th year at Center Grove. 7 regional titles for Coach Moore. He is undefeated in regional games, and the school in itself, Center Grove, 8 regional titles. And the Trojans just won their 8th sectional title last week under Coach Moore. The Center Grove Trojans with a 10-1 record, 6-1 in the MIC this year. Champs for a 5th time in the MIC, and back-to-back champs in the MIC. In the state polls, Center Grove finished up number 3 in the final 6A AP and coaches polls, and the Trojans do remain number 1 in the state computer ratings. Ted, how about the playmakers tonight for the Center Grove Trojans? Great article today in the Indy Star, and you see Luke Calvert, the senior quarterback, who's having a splendid senior season, being considered as one of the candidates possibly for Mr. Football here in the state of Indiana. But Luke has had a special senior season.
Well, he surely has, and I think that whenever Eric Moore's teams play their best, they have outstanding leadership on the field, and that starts with their quarterback. Even though their quarterback is not a big part of the running game, it's getting them into the rhythm that they need to be, getting them into the plays that they need to be, being able to throw the football when needed. And Luke Calvert has answered that each and every time this year. I mean, he's been an outstanding leader. This is obviously his 2nd full year as a quarterback under center. He feels very comfortable. He has a lot of confidence in his abilities and being able to make the plays. So he is obviously a huge player for Center Grove. Max Norris, obviously, and Lane Morris, the running backs. We'll have to see. They've moved Alex Woods back to his tackle position. Where last week they started him at center, they moved him back. So we'll see what type of changes. Obviously, he feels a little bit more comfortable there, but he's played there all year. So those are some of the key players for Center Grove, and it should be a lot of fun to watch tonight.
For the Southport Cardinals, the head coach is Bill Peebles in his 9th year at Southport. This year, his first sectional title. They bring in a perfect 11-0 record. They were 7-0 in Conference Indiana. winning the conference for the second time under Coach Peebles. Last time they won it back in 2008. Ted, how about the Southport team? Again, special season. They were undefeated back in 1949, but I think this year's team has eclipsed that 49 team with, again, very special run throughout the season, a sectional title for the first time in 23 years.
Yeah, you need to, be ready for this team. I mean, this team feels good about themselves. They're going to play at a very high level, and they're led by their quarterback, Luke Johnson, number 14. So, get a look. I mean, he's a guy that he can run it, he can pass it. If you've watched the Center Grove team this year, you've thought it's a team that has probably thrown the football quite a bit. Luke Johnson has actually thrown the ball 110 more attempts than Center Grove has. He's thrown for over 700 more yards than Center Grove. So they're a team that will really throw the football, and yet they have a running back in Christian Perry, number 29, who has run for almost 2,300 yards. I mean, he's run for 2,282 yards, 7.3 yards per carry, which is almost unheard of unless you're at Center Grove, and Max Norris is averaging 13 yards a carry, which is totally unheard of. But anyway, I mean, this is a guy that's run for 2,300 yards. So this is a team that can run it, they can pass it, and they're very confident with doing both. So it should be a great football game, and I know Coach Peebles comes in here tonight expecting a win from his football team.
Again, in recent history, these two teams have only played twice. You go back to 1985 and back in 1990, and both of those games were in sectional action, and both years Southport defeated Center Grove and actually went on and won sectional titles those 2 years. And in 1990, the Southport team won a regional, beat Evansville Harrison, and went on to lose to eventual state champion Ben Davis 27-17 in the semi-state. And Ben Davis won big against Marion back in 1990. So back in 1990, Southport was 10 points away from going to the state championship, and I think if they did win back in 1990 against Ben Davis in the semi-state, they would have won a state championship.
Yeah, they're an outstanding football team. I mean, on the other side of it, Eric Moore, I mean, he's got a great group of kids, and they come in here with a lot of confidence. You have to be careful and really make sure, and I'm sure he's worked on it all week, because all of a sudden Ben Davis gets beat last week. And so what starts running through all his kids' head? The only team that's beat us is Ben Davis. They're out. We've beat Pike. We've beat Carmel. We've beat Warren. We've beaten all these other teams. All we have to do is, and we're going to win a state title. So all of a sudden you start thinking about winning a state championship rather than focusing in on a really good 11-0 Southport team. I mean, I know that Eric Moore has been working on that all week. He never allows that. His preparation is as good as there is in high school football, and I expect Center Grove to come out here and be very, very focused here tonight, but it should be a great game, and I'm interested. I have not seen Southport play this year, so I'm very interested to see them play and see the Perry kid. He's obviously an outstanding running back.
Yeah, Christian Perry, senior running back, over 2,000 yards rushing, and our very own Rick Embry last week and during the Jeffersonville broadcast told us that the Perry kid was going to take a visit to Purdue last Saturday when the Boilermakers hosted the Ohio State Buckeyes.
They could have used him last week. When they were down about 56-0, I think they could have used him. I think an interesting stat also, I mean, he's carried the football 314 times. That's 250 times more than the next back on his team. So when that quarterback turns around and he's looking to hand it off to somebody, good chance the number 29's probably going to get it. And you can rest assured that Center Grove team is very well aware of that. Center Grove is not a team that you are usually going to be able to beat, doing one thing. So they are not going to allow Perry to run the football tonight. They're going to try to take that away and try to make them into a passing team.
Perry set some school records against Bloomington North this year, Ted. He had 41 carries, 432 yards in one game against Bloomington North. Impressive.
Wow. Yeah, that's very impressive. I mean, that's workhorse type numbers. Not only is it a lot of yardage, but also that many carries. But also it means he's taken probably a tremendous pounding all year. And you can bet that this Center Grove team is going to try to do everything they can to put a hurt on him, especially early in the football game. You'll see this team, gang tackling and doing all they can to put him on the ground.
The Center Grove captains have emerged from the locker room. Luke Calvert, senior quarterback, number 7, in your picture, firing up this Center Grove Trojan fan base. Also out there with him tonight is Matt O'Brien, Dylan Dallas, and Caleb Kelsheimer. 4 seniors, 4 outstanding seniors.
Yeah, and they've been great all year. But what I was going to say is just, football's a funny game. I mean, when it really comes down to it, it's the team that, your offensive and defensive lines really end up winning football games. If you happen to catch the game last night, Stanford and Oregon, I mean, that was a great illustration of what football's all about. I mean, here's a team, Stanford. They basically tell you exactly what they're going to do, and then they come out and they just do it. They block it better. They do it better than you can defend it. And you look up, and all of a sudden you're behind 26-0. And that's a little bit the way that Eric Moore does things here on the south side. I mean, everybody knows what he's going to do. He's going to run the wing tee. They know what he's going to do defensively. But he just does it. His kids do it just a little bit better than everybody else. And because of it, they wake up and they're 10-1 playing for a regional championship, and he's had great success here on the south side.
The Southport Cardinals on the far sideline and the white uniforms. Ted, we're guaranteed one thing tonight, a lot of red and white in the house here tonight at Ray Skillman Stadium, as we're now just 3 minutes from kickoff. Ted, you can just feel it. You can feel the energy here at Center Grove High School. Again, these two teams have not played since 1990. You got number 3 Center Grove hosting number 4 Southport. Only one loss between the two teams. Special season for Southport, 11-0, Conference Indiana champs. Center Grove 10-1, Mid-Conference champs. So Ted, you've got the best in Conference Indiana against the best in the Mid-Conference.
Well, I mean, I think you kind of wonder how good is conference. The Southport is in. We know how good the Mid-Conference is. I mean, if you go look over the past 20 years, the Mid-Conference has dominated this state in football. It's like small college football. But that's not to say that Southport isn't a very good opponent and is not able to compete. I mean, they're obviously 11-0. They feel very good about themselves. I think it'll be interesting to see who wins the kick or wins the toss, and what they decide to do. I mean, so many times in big games like this, if you win the toss, you defer and play defense. That way you get the ball again in the second half. But they're getting ready to flip the coin. Let's see what happens.
Team captains for Southport, number 5, Tim Jewell, number 21, David Simmons, number 61, Zach Campbell, and number 71, Blake Davis. There's the coin toss. The officials tonight, the referee is Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown says the Center Grove Trojans will receive to begin tonight's game. The umpire is Jason Plunkett. Line judge, Lucas Howard. Back judge, Rob Williamson. And the linesman, Todd Collett. And Ted, I understand this is one of the best officiating crews in the state of Indiana. And now here are the Center Grove Trojans. Ted, you look left and right. Capacity crowd here at Ray Skillman Stadium. We were expecting a big crowd tonight. Southport's brought a big crowd, but the Trojan fans are here in force tonight for what should be a special evening of high school football.
Yeah, it should be a very good game. I mean, Southport, I hope that they play their best, because they're going to get Center Grove's best. You know you're going to get Eric Moore and his crew. You're going to get their best each and every night. Obviously, in big games, some of the key things to watch for: turnovers, obviously number one. Whoever keeps the turnover rate down has a good chance to win. Penalties. Don't put yourself in situations where you're first down and 20. Neither one of these teams are really, made to do that type of thing. And other than that, you just got to play smart and play hard, and you're going to have to play the entire game. I mean, because from Center Grove, you're going to get their absolute best.
Jacob Jurgen, senior kicker, 5'9", 155 pounds, is teeing the ball up at the left hash mark as we're now ready for the Class 6A Regional Championship between the number 3 Center Grove Trojans and the number 4 Southport Cardinals.
Really no wind to speak of as we look out. I keep looking at the flag thinking that it might move, but there's just really no wind at all. So no positive, either way. But Southport will be going, as we sit in the press box, they will be going from south to north, from our right to our left.
Ted, it appears back deep for the Center Grove Trojan. The lone deep man is Justin Vedeto, the senior split in. At the 20-yard line, it looks like we have Max Norris, and on the far sideline at the 20, that is Logan Hudson. Jurgen only a couple of touchbacks this season, so doesn't quite have that strong leg, Ted, to get it to the end zone. So the Trojans should have an opportunity to return this opening kickoff. And you look at the flags up on the goalposts, no wind to speak of at the moment. Again, game time temperature 46 degrees, a comfortable evening here in November for tonight's game.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what is going on here. Maybe it's a TV timeout. We're not used to that, all right?
I think you are correct, sir.
Really? Okay. So I always loved those when I was playing at IU. When you always got 4 timeouts every 4 minutes, you got a timeout. That was great. Go over there and have him yell at you every 4 minutes.
And now Jacob Jurgen, senior kicker, about ready to get the football. Tees it up here on the left hash. He will step it off.
Well, I think the first 5 or 6 minutes will tell you a lot about this football game, and so let's watch and let's see.
Pop-up kick to the far sideline. Connor Steve, sophomore, calls for a fair catch at the 31-yard line. Great job by the sophomore.
Very good job, and I think Eric Moore would be very happy. I mean, same type of thing that they obviously don't have a big leg. Jurgen does not have a big leg, not able to get it to the end zone, so they pooch kick it very similar to what we've seen Center Grove do all year, and it's been very effective. I mean, I'm sure that Coach Peebles is very happy for Center Grove to start and have to go 69 yards to try to score a touchdown.
Luke Calvert under center to the fullback. Lane Morris gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress gets him 1 yard.
That was very well done by Southport right there. I mean, they come in, they average about 255 pounds on their defensive line. Not a huge defensive line, and they got 3 down linemen, and then they got 4 linebackers, so they play the 3-4. So they're trying to get those linemen to take the blockers out, and linebackers come in and make the play.
1 yard for Lane Morris. 2nd down and 9. Handoff, sprinting to the edge is the senior Logan Hudson. Now cuts it back. Takes it to the 35-yard line. He'll be 6 yards, man, more like 5 yards shy of the first down. Starting tonight on that D-line for Southport, Dacy Milbrook, Jalen Holmes, and John Brown. The linebackers, Bronson Brumley, Connor Moore, and Dalton Harrell, along with Donovan Milbrook. And the outside linebacker is Kevin Woods, and in the secondary, Darius Bryant, Thomas Garrett, and David Simmons. On 3rd and a long 5, here comes the Rocket. He's got the first down and a whole lot more. He's to the 30. He cuts it back. He's inside the 25 and down to the 22-yard line.
Well, it was just a quick handoff. I mean, he went in motion. They snapped it. They gave it to him. Southport just a little bit slow in reacting to Max Norris, and you cannot be a little bit slow in reacting to him. I mean, he's around the corner, he's turned the corner, and he's 40 yards down the football field.
Ball at the Southport 23-yard line. Opening drive between Center Grove and Southport. Calvert, play action, fakes it to Norris, rolls to his right, throws it, and has a completion down to the 5-yard line. And the ball goes out of bounds. The runner, I should say the receiver, that's Vedito. He's down to the 5 or 6 yard line.
Vedito did a nice job of going to the ground, securing the football, securing the catch. And Center Grove will be looking at 1st and goal from about the 7.
So spotted at the 7 yard line. 1st and goal at the 7. 10:21 to play. First quarter. Trojans opening drive. Knocking on the door. Hand off to the fullback, Lane Morris. He's hit at the 5. He twists away from the tackler, gets it just inside the 5 yard line. Good run for the senior fullback, Lane Morris, on 1st down.
Well, the 2 times that they've looked good on defense, Southport, they've been able to stop what a lot of other people haven't stopped, and that's a straight ahead run, but they're going to have to be able to shut down that getting around the corner, because Center Grove has turned the corner twice on them now.
2nd and goal at the 5. Norris trying to get the edge, looking for the end zone. Touchdown.
Just what I talked about. There's no way you can let Max Norris get outside of. You've got to have a defensive end or a cornerback come across and turn him in. If he's able to turn the corner on you as he did right there, you are not going to catch him.
5 yard touchdown run for the Rocket.
Center Grove, a very fast attack. I mean, they really can score on you quickly with the speed of Max Norris, the throwing ability of Luke Calvert. They've got to feel very good to look up, and that's about 6 or 7 plays, and they got 7 points.
The extra point by Seth Northern is good. 7-0. The Center Grove Trojans strike first, leading the Southport Cardinals. 9:42 left to play here in the opening quarter. 15 touchdowns on the season now for the Rocket.
Well, he's had an outstanding season. I mean, I'm sure he's over 1,000 yards now after that run. I saw he was like 960 or 70 yards coming into the game, and he probably got another 40 or 50 yards on that group or that possession. So he's over 1,000 yards. But at Center Grove, it's not about individual statistics. I mean, if it were, Max Norris is a guy that could easily have been over 2,000 yards. I mean, he's got the capabilities if you ran him that many times, but it's more about winning championships, and they've been able to win a MIC championship, and now they're got their sights set on hopefully winning a state championship.
Nathaniel Snyder, sophomore, prepares to kick off for the Center Grove Trojans. Snyder this year very effective with the sky kick. He pops it up here to the near side inside the 25-yard line. The Cardinals trying to find some running room, and David Simmons finds a lot of red jerseys going nowhere but down. Great pursuit by the Trojan special teams.
Yeah, he caught it right there at the 23, and he never took a step forward. Center Grove was on top of him, and that's exactly what Eric Moore likes to see from this kicking game. He doesn't have somebody like he's had the last 6 or 7 years that can boo it into the end zone, so they take advantage of what they can do best, and let's see what this Southport offense has been pretty powerful all year. Comes in averaging 37, 38 points a game. Got a 2,000-yard rusher. Let's see what they've got to offer here.
Sophomore Luke Johnston, sophomore quarterback from shotgun formation, goes to their main running back, senior Christian Perry. Again, a 2,000-plus yard rusher this season. Picks up a couple on 1st down.
Yeah, comes in with 314 carries for 2,282 yards, almost 2,300 yards rushing. But it's also a team that can throw the football. They've thrown for almost 2,500 yards. So, don't be surprised if the quarterback looks to throw anytime soon.
3 yards for Perry, 2nd and 7. They go back to Perry, and the Trojans stack him up. He falls forward for a little bit of a gain. Starting tonight on that D-line for the Trojans, John Dever, Tyler Amaro, Dimitri Wilson, and Dylan Dallas. The linebackers, Keegan McFatridge, Keith Sears, Caleb Kelsheimer, and in the secondary, Alex Ackerman, Aaron Hunt, Ryan Pendergraft, and Drew Wozniak. Ted, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, 3rd and 6, definite throwing situation. Number 14, Luke Johnson, their quarterback, has been a guy that not afraid to throw it. I mean, they've thrown, like I said, for over 2,500 yards, and they've scored a lot of points. So look for him to pass here in this situation.
Johnston, 2,000-plus yards passing, looks to his right, delivers a dart right at the first down marker. A good spot will get him or get them a first down. Let's see where they spot it. At the moment, they're saying move the chains. It will be a first down for the Southport Cardinals. And the Trojan fans not liking the spot.
They're not liking it, but they can't see it any better than we can. I mean, it's all the way across the field, and you really can't see the angle. I mean, the official has a good angle, so if it's a first down, it's a first down. I mean, and a good job by the receiver for Southport to go down exactly where the sticks were and to get his first down.
8:10 remaining, first quarter. Center Grove in front, 7-0. First drive of the night here for the Southport Cardinals. Pass is complete to Tim Jewell. He's their top receiver in yardage this year.
Yeah, he comes in with over 800 yards receiving and I think eight touchdowns. Good hands, and it's a good first down play there. They gain about 6 or 7 yards.
Our opening quarter tonight being presented by Center Grove Spitshine. Center Grove Spitshine, taking care of your entire vehicle cleaning needs. Check them out at cgspitshine.com. On 2nd and 5, a good carry. Picks up the first down as Perry. He is across the 45 to the 46. Very effective run.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, a good hole by their offensive line. Their offensive line comes in averaging about 255 pounds. So, again, not a huge offensive line. Very, very similar to the one for Center Grove. But an offensive line that has a lot of confidence and has been very effective this year, as we said, putting almost 40 points a game on the board.
Southport picking up its first down. New set of downs. They'll pass it here to the near side. It is incomplete. Intended receiver, number 23, Cardell Tucker. Starting tonight for the Cardinals on the O-line, Matt Garrett, Blake Davis, Zach Campbell, Kyle McEntee, Brad Collison, and the fullback, Chinoya Peary. Again, your quarterback is Luke Johnston, the running back, Christian Perry, and your receivers, Tim Jewell, Aaron Ferguson, and Cardell Tucker. 2nd and 10 from the Southport 46-yard line. 7:10 to play here in the opening quarter. Center Grove in front, 7-0. And Perry was hit initially, and then on the second hit, he is not able to elude the Center Grove defense. The Trojans, again, doing a good job, Ted, like they always do, of gang tackling.
Yeah, they did a nice job right there. I mean, he got away from the first guy, but there were 2 or 3 guys right behind him, and they're sitting here, about 4 yards short of midfield, and they're looking at 3rd down and 10.
Center Grove defense, always by committee. They fly to the football. 3rd and 10. Passing situation. Johnston right at the sticks. Incomplete. His receiver dropped the ball. Good hit by Ryan Pendergraft, the senior cornerback, with a nice hit, forcing the drop pass.
Pendergraft, not very big, but very effective. I mean, he does a nice job. He uses his body. He gets in between the receiver and the football, able to dislodge it. And Southport going to be punting here for the first time tonight.
Ted, their sophomore quarterback, Johnston, also their punter.
That's a concern.
Always a concern, because you never know if he's going to punt or throw the football. On the year, averaging 34 yards per punt.
You can guarantee that Center Grove has worked on this. They're holding positions. He did kick it.
High punt to the near side. Devin Hensley had a punt return for a touchdown against New Albany, and he steps out of bounds here on the near side. Great job by Hensley, Ted. We know he has great hands as a split in for the Trojans.
He's fearless.
Yeah, he's fearless, and that was not an easy catch there.
That was running at full speed. I'm sure that Coach Moore was over there holding his breath. I'm sure that Devin's telling him, hey, don't worry, Coach, I got it. I got this. And he did. He caught it. He's been fearless. He's been fearless all year, and that's a little bit the way Center Grove plays. They're unafraid, and they're unafraid of whoever they play, and they've been very successful doing that all year.
Center Grove on that offensive line tonight. Jared Hobson, Logan Battle, Austin Smoger starting at center. Jacob Shoup and Alex Woods. Cameron Tidd, your tight end. Max Norris in motion. Hand off to the fullback, Lane Morris. He's chopped down at the 35-yard line. Picks up a couple on first down.
Yeah, chopped down was the key. Southport's doing a good job of getting, down on their hands and knees and making it going tough for Lane Morris. I mean, there's just not a lot of room inside. But most importantly, if you're Southport, you need to identify number 15. You need to find him, and you need to make sure you know where he is on the football field. And if he's coming your way, you got to get across and turn him back in, because if you let him get outside where there's no help, you're in trouble.
Holmes with the tackle. 3-yard gain for Lane Morris. Calvert pumps it to the near sideline. His man's not open, and Calvert fumbles the football, and
he got back on
Calvert recovers. Luke Calvert pumped the football here to the near side. His receiver, Logan Hudson, was covered up, and the ball was free and got knocked out of Calvert's hand, and he does recover it, but he does lose a lot of yardage on the play. It's now inside the 25 at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, that was he just held it a little bit too long. As you're sitting here, that clock in your head, if you're the quarterback, you know that somebody's got to be coming. You need to tuck it and run, and they're looking at 3rd and about 20.
5:10 remaining first quarter, and the Trojans are tackled at the 20-yard line. Loss of a couple of yards on the play, so a difficult punting situation for the Center Grove Trojans. Matt O'Brien will punt deep in his own territory.
Well, they turned a situation there where they had pretty good field position into, the two losses right there. Max Norris kind of lost his balance right there, and he lost more yardage, and they'll be lucky to get it back to where they were trying to pick up a first down here with this punt.
Matt O'Brien inside his own 10, averaging 34.5 yards per punt. Had a beautiful punt last week against Jeffersonville in his first one against the Red Devils.
Short kick.
Very, very short. Let's see if it'll take a Center Grove bounce. It does not. It goes out of bounds here on the near side inside the 40. So great field position for the Southport Cardinals. And Ted, just a poor offensive possession for the Center Grove Trojans, followed up by a poor kick.
Well, a poor by Center Grove, but great by Southport. Southport did an outstanding job of doing what they needed to do. I mean, they got on Luke Calvert when he took a little bit too long in the pocket. Center Grove couldn't find a receiver. 3rd down and 20. Then, Max Norris trips over his own feet back there. So poor punt, and Southport looks up, and they've got great field position and a great opportunity in front of them right here.
Handoff, nope, they fake the handoff. Pass is complete to the near side to Clayton Bird. Center Grove swarms him at the 30-yard line.
Good gain, though, gain of 7.
They'll spot the ball now at the 31-yard line. Good fake by Johnston. It's difficult to read his fakes from here. He faked it to the running back Perry.
And they run Perry so much, you have to take note whenever they do fake it to him. And as you said, they faked it that time and then threw the quick one.
3:40 to play first quarter. Center Grove in front, 7-zip. We have a flag down, what will be a holding call against the Southport Cardinals here on the edge. Will nullify the pickup by Christian Perry.
Tough call because they were sitting at 2nd down and about 3. I mean, you can do a lot of different options at 2nd down and 3. You can throw, you can pass, run. You can do a lot of different things. Now all of a sudden it's 2nd down and about 14, so you put yourself in a bind here.
Passing play completed to that far sideline. The Trojans up in the receiver. Is that Fendi again?
Yeah,
Ryan
sure
Pendergraft, he was able to quickly move up on the receiver and up ends the receiver at the 40-yard line.
Well, I mean, they ran that same play a little earlier. It was a little shorter pass. The shorter pass didn't take so long. In that situation, it took long enough for the ball to get out there that Pendergraft is quick enough that he's able to come up and meet the receiver about the same time he catches the football.
3 receivers to the right. The one left is Cardell Bird. I should say number 24 is Clayton Bird, and Bird's got the reception at the 30, but did he hang on? The Trojans were ripping at the football, so spotting down at the 30-yard line, 3 yards shy of the first down.
Well, they did a good job. At least they gave themselves a chance. I mean, obviously they're in 4-down territory, so they're looking to go for it here on 4th down and about 3.
Trojan fans on their feet. Big play, 4th and 3. Sophomore quarterback Johnston hands it off to Perry. He is stacked up short of the first down. He did not get the necessary yardage for the first down. It
Very
will be
good
a
job by
turnover
Center
on
Grove.
downs. Turnover on downs. That's power football right there. The Trojan defense with a great stand.
Well, I kind of like the call by Coach Peebles. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, here's what we do. Here's our strength. I mean, here's our guy that's run for 2,300 yards this year. Let's see if you can stop it. And Center Grove did stop it. They were able to stop him, and they've got decent field position. And let's see what they do this time with their offensive possession.
Logan Hudson sprints outside, now cuts it up. He's got a good run going up to the 44-yard line. 15, 16 yards on the gain for the senior, Logan Hudson.
So far, Southport has been very effective on straight-ahead runs like Lane Morris, but they have not been very effective on the sweep. And Center Grove is very effective in running that sweep with either Hudson or Max Norris. And they're going to keep getting it if they don't show Center Grove that they can stop it.
1:45 to play, first quarter. Center Grove 7-0 in front
Here you
of
go again.
Southport.
Same thing.
Max Norris gets the edge and steps out of bounds short of the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 42-yard line. First down, though. First down for Max Norris.
I mean, they're getting 10 or 12. Looks like a holding. Yeah, there's a penalty holding. They're calling.
Holding on the edge against the Center Grove Trojans.
I didn't see the flag. I mean, I guess it was all the way across the field, but it's definitely a holding call on Center Grove.
I did not see it either, Ted. They're giving Coach Moore an explanation. 1:37 to play, opening quarter. Center Grove in front, 7-0. Max Norris on a 5-yard touchdown run at the 9:42 mark, putting the Trojans in front early. Now it's going to be 1st and 23. And now we have another penalty flag down. False start against the Center Grove Trojans. The VAR official calls it.
Yeah, 1st and 28. These are the kind of things you can't do. I mean, Center Grove did a nice job in their initial possession offensively, moved the ball 6-7 plays right down the field, put 7 points on the board, and now they've been very ineffective. I mean, they've had penalties, they had mistakes, and these are the things you can't do if you expect to win a state championship.
Ball at the Trojan 27-yard line, 1st and 28. Calvert, delayed handoff to the senior fullback, Lane Morris, and they tackle him from behind. Good job by Southport, staying very disciplined, not being fooled by the delayed handoff.
You can see they're very effective. Anything straight ahead, they're very effective. Lane Morris has not had much success, but Center Grove has had tremendous success going around the edge. Now they've got their NASCAR package in, and you would expect them to throw Calvert in the gun right now.
2nd and 27, screen pass to Max Norris, and he is chopped down in the open field. Great open field tackle by David Simmons, the senior at 6'3", 185-pound defensive back.
So it was great pressure on Calvert from linebacker, and then also great pressure out here on Max Norris. As soon as he caught it, they put him on the ground. This Southport defense has been very, very good here.
Ted, both teams very explosive with the offense throughout the season, but right now the defenses are getting it done for both teams. 3rd and 29 in the closing seconds of the first quarter. Calvert's going to take a shot. He's got a man. Hensley, first down. Devin Hensley, the junior, makes the catch. He'll be spotted at the Southport 41-yard line.
Yeah, it's a great play for Center Grove, but if you're Southport, it's an absolute killer. I mean, it's third down and about 25. You just cannot allow somebody to get behind you right there in that situation. There's 2 or 3 guys. Devin Hensley does an outstanding job of just splitting the gap. Makes a good adjustment on the throw. It wasn't a perfect throw, but he made a good adjustment, made the catch, and got the first down.
5 seconds to play, first quarter. Calvert just gets the snap off in time. Max Norris is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll be dropped for a loss back to the 46-yard line. That will be the final play of the first quarter here at Ray Skillman Stadium in the Class 6A Regional Championship game between the number 3 Center Grove Trojans and the number 4 Southport Cardinals. We'll take a break. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Ray Skillman Stadium. Kevin Conrad, Ted Kitzer with you tonight. The Center Grove Trojans in front of the Southport Cardinals 7-0 after one quarter of action here in the 6A Regional Championship. Our quarter number 2 is being presented by Global Financial Solutions. For all your investment needs, contact President Bob Hoffman at 317-888-1555, Global Financial Solutions. Ted, first quarter, we saw some pretty good offense in that opening drive by Center Grove, but really struggled in that second drive. But Devin Hensley on a big reception, getting things going again, getting this Center Grove team back in the groove.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, it's kind of a strange quarter. Center Grove really took control in the first 5 minutes, and really nobody did anything from then on.
To begin the second quarter, running play, and Max Norris gets it across the 40.
Tell you what, Southport has a good, strong defense. I mean, they believe in themselves. They are coming hard, and they are putting some really solid hits on this Center Grove football team.
Ball inside the 40 at the Southport 39-yard line. Getting things underway here in the second quarter. Winner advances to the Semi-State next Friday night to take on either Warren Central or Pike. Here comes Logan Hudson trying to get outside. He cuts it up, and he's going to be just short of the first down. Very effective run, though, for the senior Logan Hudson.
Yeah, probably 4-down territory right here. I mean, if they hadn't have picked up much yardage, 4th and 7 or 8, you might have seen Coach Moore punt it. But at 4th down and 1, they're probably going to take their chance.
Fourth and 1.
They haven't had much success running the ball straight ahead, though. Be interesting to see. I mean, this is usually where Lane Morris does his work.
The Southport defense has been very stout. Whistle, timeout called by Center Grove head coach Eric Moore.
Yeah, he could see something. The guys were not happy with the way things were looking. Hudson went up there, and he was telling Norris to move, and everybody wasn't in the right place, and Eric Moore could see from the sidelines. We got 4th down and 1. We got guys not knowing exactly where they ought to be. Best thing to do here is call a timeout.
Ted, our good buddy Rick Embry, not with us tonight, but we do want to send a shout-out to Rick. He's listening to our broadcast tonight from Owensboro, Kentucky, as he is coaching a Center Grove Bantam Football League Pro Bowl team tomorrow, a 5th grade team in a tournament game. So we want to wish Rick and his squad all the best. And guess who they're playing tomorrow in the first round of the tournament? New Albany.
Really? I was just in beautiful Owensboro yesterday. I was in Evansville on Wednesday. I was in Owensboro on Thursday. Came up through Christmas Lake and came home late last night. So it's actually a beautiful little city. You know that is where the one and only Ray Skillman is from. I mean, the guy who gives so much of himself to this community and the entire city of Indianapolis. That's his hometown. He and the Waltrip boys.
4th and 1 for the Center Grove Trojans. Hand off, Lane Morris. He's got the first down, and they keep the pile moving forward. Good pickup on 4th down for the senior Lane Morris. And Ted, you're right. They've had difficulty with that run play up the gut, but that time the Trojan offensive line got in the necessary yardage.
Well, I mean, when push comes to shove and you need a yard or two, I think there's no doubt. I think you, myself, Eric Moore, and everybody else that's watched this game very long, they're going to give the ball to Lane Morris. I mean, he's a sure thing.
First down run. Max Norris sprinting to the edge, looking for the sideline. He's going to be taken out of bounds shy of the 5. What a run by the junior Max Norris.
They have got to be able to come across and turn him in. If you continue to chase him down the sideline, you are not going to catch him. They're going to find that out. You've got to make an adjustment. Your cornerback and your defensive end have got to come across and turn him inside. When you see him motioning your way, you have got to make sure that you get out wider than he does, and so far they have not been able to do that, and Max Norris has burnt them 2 or 3 times.
The Warren Central Warriors on a field goal trail Pike 7-3 at the end of the first quarter. Again, the winner here plays a winner there next Friday night in the Final Four. Logan Hudson looking for the end zone, and he's in there. Touchdown, Logan Hudson.
Well, a very patient run by Logan Hudson. I mean, he used his patience. He waited on his blocks. He waited. He finally got the sidelines. He turned it in, and he's able to get 6 points on the board. So Center Grove offense, once again, strikes quickly.
So again, the Pike Red Devils lead Warren Central 7-3. Carmel leads Fort Wayne Carroll 10-0. Cathedral in Class 5A shutting out Anderson 21-0. And here at Ray Skillman Stadium, as we await the PAT kick by Seth Northern, it is good. It's Center Grove 14, Southport 0.
Well, the biggest play of that series was Devin. I mean, that reception on 3rd down and 25 was just a backbreaker. If you're Southport, you've got Center Grove exactly where you want them, and you let them slip out of the noose right there. Devin Hensley able to get right in between the safeties, and he's able to make a huge catch, and then Center Grove turns it into 7 points.
With the touchdown for the Trojans, ring the bell. That's another $10 from the Center Grove Gridiron Club being donated to the Tyler Jennikin Foundation to aid in the fight against cancer. Ted, nothing like Trojan Friday nights when you've got a big crowd, great game. It's just a festive atmosphere.
It's just, I mean, this is almost like a big college football game. I mean, you look out there, you look at the facilities that they play on in comparison to when I was in high school, and you were this time of year, you were playing on mud fields and didn't have any grass.
Like we had last week at Jeffersonville.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now all of a sudden you go up here, they're playing on perfect field turf. I mean, you got these huge stadiums settings. You got scoreboards in the background that replay things that Ray Skillman has put his money into, and it's truly unbelievable. Eric Moore and his troops have done a good job. I mean, you know, that was the main thing he wanted to do against this team, a team that's 11-0. They have not questioned themselves all year. They've never been beaten, and so they've always probably had the lead and played from in front most of the time. Now all of a sudden they're looking up, it's 14-0. They're away from home, and Eric Moore is going to make it really, really difficult on them.
Warren Central has kicked another field goal, now trailing Pike 7-6. 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Again, the winner there plays a winner here next Friday night in the Final Four. So again, Pike 7, Warren Central 6. Warren Central a couple of field goals. That game being played at Pike tonight. Here at Ray Skillman Stadium, Center Grove 14, Southport 0. 10:08 left to play here in the second quarter. Pop-up kick to the 21-yard line, and it was dropped by the Southport player, and he's tackled inside the 15-yard line. Southport struggling to handle the football on the kickoff.
Yeah, just, I mean, he obviously knew it was coming to him. I mean, they've done their work on film, and they know that they pooch pick it, but you got to go up and make the catch. I mean, he kind of fumbles the ball around. He's lucky that he's able to get on top of it all, but they've got terrible field position starting back at their own 13.
For Southport tonight, opening drive, they stalled and had to punt the football. On their second drive, they went for it on 4th and short, turned the ball over on downs. Let's see what they have here on their third drive of the night in the second quarter. Johnston, shotgun formation, hands it off to his money man, Christian Perry. Good run going, gets it across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Again, he's 200 pounds, 6'1". He's a very strong young man. He can take it from power to speed. John Dever in on the stop for the Trojans. Perry picks up 7 yards. 2nd and 3. Perry having a problem with his chin strap, so we have a moment's delay, and now we're ready to go. Perry talking to the side official, wondering maybe if he felt like he got a face mask on the play, possibly. Again, he was adjusting his helmet and chin strap. Hand off to Perry. Not much there for Perry, trying to get off the left side of the line. The Trojan defense, they swallow him up after 21, no gain.
Yeah, this is a big play right here. I mean, Center Grove would love nothing more than to have to, Southport to have to punt. So look for Center Grove to put a little pressure up the field on them right here. This is a big play for Southport. You need to move the chains and continue to possess the football.
Trojan fans chanting, supporting their defense. Pass is complete. It appears it will be enough for a first down. And the receiver on the ground, not to his feet. He's very slow. Now he gets up and he goes back down. He's trying to shake it off. I believe, is that number 5, Tim Jewell? Tim Jewell, the senior wide receiver on that far sideline, trying to catch a number.
That's an awfully long pass to gain 4 yards. I mean, they threw it about 30 yards to gain 4, but that's a huge pickup for Southport. They needed that desperately to move the chains and to continue to keep this ball on offense.
That is Tim Jewell. He's a senior wide receiver, leads this team in receiving yards this season. Handoff goes to Perry, and he gets through the line of scrimmage, and before you knew it, he's running downhill for a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, he sure was. I mean, he was through that hole in a hurry. I mean, he jumped through that hole, and he had a 12-yard gain, and they're moving the chains once again.
One thing this Southport offense does, Ted, they're very balanced with the run and the pass, which when you're playing defense against them, you got to be very honest and very disciplined. They fake the handoff, and he airmails it out of bounds. His intended receiver, Cardell Tucker, here on the near side.
That's an interesting play. I mean, he really rides him in there, and then he throws the football out right where he's looking. So it'll be interesting if Center Grove tries to make some adjustments to that. That's a pass that if you got just a little bit of head steam moving up the field, you could pick that pass off right there because they're throwing it a long way. You have a lot of time to react to that pass.
On second down and 10, going over the top, taking a shot, and did he make the catch? Yes, he did. He stayed in bounds. Ryan Pendergraft went up to make the interception, could not bring it down, and the receiver hauls it in for a first down.
Well, he just jumped up over the top of him. Pendergraft had perfect position. I mean, he was inside. He jumped up, tried to either catch or knock the ball away, and I think it was Jewell, number 5, just a better athlete, just jumped right up over the top of him, took it away from him, made a heck of a play.
Jewell at 6 foot gives his team a first down at the Trojan 31-yard line. Perry on first down, sidesteps one tackler, turns a no-gain situation into at least 1 or 2 yards.
Well, it's a very good drive so far by Southport. I mean, you remember they took over way down here after that pooch kick. I mean, they took over, I think, their own 13-yard line. They've moved it all the way to Center Grove's 29. Need to keep moving the chains.
1 yard for Perry, 2nd and 9. Ball at the Trojan 30, 7:15 to play, second quarter. Center Grove in front 14-0, and whistles, flag down.
Yeah, movement
against Southport.
Just can't do that. I mean, you have a 2nd and 9. You didn't get any yards on the first carry. Now you're going to have 2nd and about 15. Just makes it really, really difficult. I mean, and you're going to have to do the best you can here. Watch for them. They'll try to pick up probably about 10 yards on this first pass. At least give themselves, down here in four down territory, give themselves a chance to pick up the first down.
From the 35, they fake the handoff to Perry. Johnston going over the top, looking to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown to Jewell. Tim Jewell got in behind Ryan Pendergraft, and it's a touchdown pass from 35 yards out, and Southport is on the board.
And that was very, very well done. I mean, a nice fake by the quarterback in the backfield. He actually turned around in the backfield, and then he just looked downfield and just threw it right over the top. Pendergraft got beat. Jewell is very, very talented back there. I mean, not only did he jump up and take that ball away from him a couple plays ago, but right there he just outran the defense.
Jacob Jurgen on the PAT kick is good, and it's a 14-7 ball game. The Trojans in front by 7 with 7:01 to play in the second quarter.
Well, you can see why they've thrown for over 2,500 yards passing. I mean, right there. Jewell comes in with 8 touchdowns. Another gentleman on the team had 7 touchdowns, catching, receptions, 7 touchdowns. So this is a team that can really throw the football, and that was an outstanding throw and catch right there.
For Johnston, 28 touchdowns on the season, and he has thrown 9 of them now to the senior wide receiver, Tim Jewell. That one goes for 35 yards.
Well, they needed that in the worst way. I mean, they were just trying to pick up a first down after they had 4 field position. They picked up the first down, and then they got some big plays, and Jewell made 2 really big plays, and now this is a football game.
Jurgen's kick goes to the 21-yard line to Logan Hudson. Gets a block, but he's tripped up from behind. Good job by Southport. Number 88 coming in to make the tackle for the Cardinals. That is Isaiah Hatcher. He is a junior. Antenna just read here on Twitter, keeping tabs on that Pike Warren Central game. Pike is in front of Warren Central 7-6, but it's a report here that Pike's top receiver, remember Dominic Booth going to Tennessee, he has been sidelined with a dislocated elbow.
I think he was out last week against Ben Davis. I thought I saw him on the sidelines.
Big run here for the Center Grove Trojans. Titus McCoy, the freshman, on a quick hitter. Going to be marked down inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Titus McCoy's first run tonight.
Yeah, Center Grove had not had much success running up through the middle, but Titus McCoy comes right in there, number 30, and he busts one right up the middle for about 20 yards. Big play.
Handoff, Logan Hudson trips up on the turf, kept his footing, picks up a few on the play. Lane Morris, the fullback, lined up here at the left wing back, blocking on the edge.
Yeah, I think I watched the Ben Davis Pike game last week, and I think that receiver, they were going to try to get him back this weekend, but he had something wrong with his elbow last week, so they've played without him before.
Calvert, down and out pass pattern. Pass is complete to Devin Hensley, the junior. His second catch of the night. That one's good for a first down.
Early in the year, O'Brien was his favorite target, but Devin Hensley has become a favorite target here in the last 2 or 3 games. That's not to say O'Brien still isn't either when he's in the football game, but boy, Devin Hensley has made some big plays for this Center Grove football team.
Ball at the Southport 33. New set of downs for the Center Grove Trojans. Flags down. False start against the Trojans. Seen that a couple of times tonight against Center Grove.
I think Eric Moore feels like that somebody jumped, or the defense jumped. But the officials saw it differently.
Center Grove all-time 0-2 against Southport in the state tournament, losing in the sectional in 1985 and 1990. First time, though, that Coach Moore has ever faced this Southport squad. And Max Norris.
The difference right there. I mean, number 6, the cornerback, comes up and he makes Max Norris turn the corner. When he turned the corner, then he's only able to pick up about a yard.
Darius Bryant and Dacey Milbrook in on the tackle for Southport.
Great job by number 6 right there for got to get
Kevin Woods.
Yeah, Kevin Woods did a nice job. He came up and turned that play in, and then got help from his linebackers, and then they're able to not let Max get out from under him.
2nd and 12. Pass is complete to Lane Morris, and now they're going to say he dropped the football. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 12 for the Center Grove Trojans.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what type of, are they going to try to get about 7, 8, 10 yards here and then maybe try to pick up on 4th down, or, they're putting their NASCAR package in, so look for a pass right here.
Center Grove needing 12 yards for the first down. 5:22 to play here in the opening half.
Shot clock down to 5.
In front 14-7, whistles and timeout.
Southport.
Called by Southport.
Yeah. I mean, the shot clock was down under 5 seconds. Center Grove really hadn't even looked at snapping the football yet, and yet Southport called timeout. So
quarter number 2 being presented by Global Financial Solutions. Global Financial Solutions, a proud supporter of Center Grove Trojan football. President Bob Hoffman has been providing financial services in the Greenwood Center Grove community for 12 years. Bob specializes in investments, retirement planning, 401k, 403b, insurance, money management, and annuities. For all your investment needs, contact President Bob Hoffman at 317-888-1555, Global Financial Solutions. Center Grove huddling here on the near side, faced with a 3rd and 12. Ball placed here on the left hash mark.
Be a great place to throw a little screen back here to the short side. Come, kind of roll to the right. Look like you're going to throw a down and out, something like that. Have somebody come over here to the Center Grove sideline, throw a little pass right there.
From shotgun formation, Calvert looking right, nobody open. Goes through his progressions, now runs the football, puts his shoulder pad down. Picks up good yardage, but not enough for the first down. And Ted, I would think Coach Moore is in 4-down territory as he is.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Calling the next play here on the sideline.
If it was 4th down and 12, they probably would punt. But with 4th down and 4, there's a good opportunity. You got to be careful if you're Luke Calvert in that situation right there. I mean, you're running the football. You need to get down. I mean, even at this level, you just can't take those bigger linemen on. I saw Aaron Rodgers take one on last week, and he's going to be sitting down for 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, you just got to be really careful if you're a quarterback.
4th and 4. Norris gets the edge, and a flag is down. They throw the flag. It's going to be a holding here on the edge against the Center Grove Trojans. Norris had plenty for the first down. He was to the 10-yard line, but flag down. It's going to be holding on the edge against the Center Grove Trojans.
I didn't see it. I saw the flag fly, but I did not see it. And Coach Moore out there asking who it is, and the official turned right to him and gave him the number, so he obviously saw it very clearly.
So negates the first down run by Max Norris. So Ted, now 4th and a lot longer. Let's see if Coach will stick with the offensive unit, or will he go, yes, here comes Matt O'Brien. Nope, it's going to be the NASCAR formation.
Let's see where it is.
They're going to go with their
about 13.
Got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
They could still quick kick it if needed.
We have not seen that from Luke Calvert this season. 4th and 13, 17 on the play
flag.
clock.
Another
Whistle
from
on
the
field.
Back judge. I don't know if there's
Flag
too many people on the field. 2, 4, 6.
Flag at the 11.
Well, I see 11 guys on the field for Southport. 11 for Center Grove. I don't know what the call is. I don't think they know either. That's why they're huddling. Must be no flag. No foul.
He said the player did get off the field in time, so.
Yeah, I think this is an iffy play. I mean, I'll just be, I mean, you're at the, if you don't pick this up, you give them the football at the 36-yard line. They had a little momentum with their offense last time. I'm surprised that Eric's going for this. He's not punting this football.
Calvert from the gun looking for Bettito. They've got him covered up, going across the middle. O'Brien with the catch and the first down. He's inside the 20 at the 19.
There you go. That's what I know about it.
Dad, that's why we sit up here. And we make the big bucks up here, right?
It looks great when it works. So, I mean, I think everybody understood what I was saying. I mean, you give the football up to a team that, they have a chance to tie, but now Center Grove, obviously, they're looking to score touchdowns.
New set of downs at the 19. Hudson chopped down. He was upended on that edge.
See, that's that same, I think it's the same player. Number either 6 or 8. He's a cornerback, and he is flying up there. As soon as he sees they're going to run that fly sweep across there, he is flying up and turning that corner in, and then he gets tremendous help from his linebacker platoon. I mean, they're over there to help him, but if you allow that back to get outside of you, then you have no help.
That's Kevin Woods, junior defensive back. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. The Rocket ripping through some tackles, just short of the 5. Late hit against Southport, so this is going to be half the distance to the goal line.
Yeah, they'll have it down about the 2.5. After Norris was down, one of the guys kind of jumped on him, and you could see the ref was sitting right there, and he threw a flag. So that'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct and half the distance to the goal.
3:37 remaining, first half. Center Grove in front, 14-7, getting the call. Personal foul against Southport. So half the distance to the goal. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Trojans tonight scored with Max Norris 5 yards out, Logan Hudson from 5 yards out. Let's see what they can do from the 3-yard line. Hudson in motion. They hand it off to Lane Morris, the fullback, on his second effort. Did he get enough? He's to the 1-yard line. He was hit initially, but his second effort got him to the 1.
Yeah, it looked like he might get it in there, but he just about a yard short, but it's still 2nd down and goal. Down here, you want to make sure you handle the football. Get in there, talk to your lineman, make sure that you get a block, get a helmet, get a hat on somebody. Everybody block somebody, and let's get this football. All we need to do is move it a yard.
Lane Morris at fullback. Hudson in motion. They go to Lane Morris. He's in there. Lane Morris with the touchdown run. 1 yard out, gets his first score of the night. Center Grove extending its lead 20-7.
Well, Center Grove's just done a little bit better job of making big plays. I mean, Southport had a couple big plays. We talked about Jewell making a couple of big plays on their last possession, but Devin Hensley made a huge play, earlier in the game, and then they came up with an extra point is good. They came up with another huge fourth down right here. I mean, 4th and 13, and they're able to pick it up. So Center Grove making the big plays when they need to here tonight.
Lane Morris, 6 rushing touchdowns on the season.
Well, Lane Morris is so much more to the football team than just, 6 touchdowns or 300 or 400 yards that he might have. I mean, he's the nuts and bolts to the running game as far as you've got to have somebody that you can count on. He and Tyus have done an excellent job of getting yards up the middle between the tackles when they need to, and then because they do that, Max Norris and Hudson can be thankful that the outsides open up because you have guys doing the work inside.
With that touchdown, another $10 donated by the Center Grove Gridiron Club to the Tyler Jennikin Foundation to aid in the fight against cancer. 2:54 remaining here in the opening half of the Class 6A Regional Championship game from Ray Skillman Stadium at Center Grove High School. The number 3 ranked Center Grove Trojans in front of Southport 21-7. Pop-up kick here to the near side. The sky kick bounces and goes out of bounds. Penalty flag. Southport can either have a re-kick or take the ball at the 35-yard line. Late in the first half, Pike still leads Warren Central 7-6. About a minute left in that opening half at Pike High School. Again, the winner here takes on the winner there next Friday night in the Final Four in Class 6A.
Warren Central's defense has obviously stiffened since we saw them early in the year. I mean, they only gave up 7 last week. They've only given up 7 so far this week. I mean, they'll probably give up 25 in the second half after I say that. But they've been, they've been outstanding. I thought they would turn things around over there.
Southport will take it from its own 35-yard line, down by a couple of scores, 21-7. Plenty to work with here in the opening half. A 2:54 to play. Johnston, sophomore quarterback. Quick pass. It is complete. His receiver gets away down the sideline for some good yardage after the catch. That's Clayton Bird. He's a senior. Not a very big fella at 5'8", 165 pounds.
Yeah, he's not very big, but he made a great catch, and he was able to elude the defender, and he picked up another 10 yards, and he got out of bounds. So a very good play for Southport.
Ball at midfield. Only took about 6 seconds to pick up the yardage. Last week, the Trojans saw a freshman quarterback at Jeffersonville, and now they're going to put a pass interference call on Ryan Pendergraft. And tonight, Ted, they have been picking on Pendy on both sides of the field.
Yeah, they obviously think, I don't think it has anything to do with his toughness. He's just not maybe as big, and they feel like that some of their athletes can maybe jump up or get up above Pendergraft. There was no question that he got there just a little bit early. I don't know if the ball was hardly catchable, but Pendergraft definitely got there early right there.
Plenty of time, 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. First and 10 now at the Center Grove 40-yard line.
Don't fall asleep on the run right here.
Perry takes the handoff, and he is wrapped up by Tyler Amaro and taken down by Dimitri Wilson, the run stopper, number 77.
Yeah, good job by Center Grove. Dimitri was waiting right there in the middle for him. Sometimes all of a sudden the team gets to passing and you know, start rushing the quarterback, and all of a sudden the running back runs right by you on his way to the end zone. So you want to make sure you play the rush first.
2nd and 7. Johnston is sacked. First time tonight. Tyler Amaro with the sack, flag down at the 42-yard line.
That's a holding, so not only a sack, but also a holding on Southport. They didn't do a very good job of holding, because if you do a good job of holding, you don't get your quarterback sacked.
Center Grove trying to figure this one out. Do they take the sack or do you take the holding call? Center Grove elects to decline the penalty. So the play will stand, the sack will stand, and it will now be 3rd down. Ball placed at the 45-yard line. 2:15 to play, 2nd quarter.
Want to know where number 5 is? Jewell has made the big plays for Southport. Definitely identify him on the football field.
Looking right, throwing right. Passes dropped. Passes dropped. Aaron Ferguson Jr. had the ball in his hands but couldn't hang on to it.
And once again, they're picking on Pendergraft, but Pendergraft still made a good play right there. He kept the receiver in front of him. Even if he had made that catch, it was still going to be 4th down at about 10.
4th and 15, Ted. Again, you got to be cautious here, because Johnston, their quarterback, is also their punter, so he may elect to throw the football or run the football. He needs 15 yards for the first down. At the moment, the Trojans are not lining up as though they're punting, as though they're going to run an offensive play, and he will punt the ball. It goes in the direction of that far sideline over the top of Ackerman and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Well done by Southport. Johnston puts it inside the 15 down to what appears to be the 12-yard line.
Well, I think that's the play that they needed to make. I mean, you don't want to give Center Grove the football back on their own 40 where they only have 60 yards to go. So you punt the football. Now they have to go almost 90 yards for a touchdown. Probably 70 yards if they want to get in field goal position, and they've only got 2 minutes to go here.
Johnson now 7 punts inside the 20 this season for Southport.
In the gun.
2 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. They spread them out. They hand it off to the freshman Titus McCoy, and boy, some nice dance moves by the freshman. He's close to a first down. It is a first down. Stops the clock to move the chains with 1:53, and the Trojans quickly huddle and will get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, in high school football, obviously the clock stops as they move the chains. So
1:45 and counting. Calvert across the middle. He's picked off. Not a good throw by Luke Calvert. He is picked off by Thomas Garrett, a senior, and again, Calvert just did not see Garrett come over and take away the middle of the field.
Well, it was a good job by Garrett to come over and take, he's already got, I think, 3 interceptions this year coming into this game, so it's not something he's not done before. But the worst thing for Center Grove is, Southport's got plenty of time to put points on the board right here.
That is Garrett's 4th interception for Southport. He leads this Cardinals team in INTs. Good field position for the Cardinals at the Center Grove 43 with 1:35 to play, and taking a shot over the top. It is knocked down by the Trojans.
Very well played by Center Grove. They tried a little stop and go right there, and the Center Grove guys did not bite on that at all. You cannot in this situation allow anybody to get behind you, and the Center Grove defenders did not.
Drew Wozniak was eyeing an interception, and it was Aaron Hunt, the safety, that came over and knocked it down.
Want to be careful for a screen, some type of screen pass or a running play right here.
Pistol formation. 92 seconds to play. Opening half. Johnston, plenty of time in the pocket. Pass is complete. Center Grove doing a good job not allowing any yards after the catch. Chenoya Peary, the junior fullback with the catch, but again, not able to turn it up to make any yards after the catch. Gain of 3, 3rd and 7. Clock continues to roll with 1:05 to play. Here in quarter number 2, Center Grove in front, 21-7. Johnston sets the feet, looks, fires, has a man, Jewell wide open, and Pendy takes him down at the 6-yard line. Jewell is hurting the Center Grove Trojans tonight. Tim Jewell, a senior, he already has 1 catch for a touchdown of 35 yards, and he takes this one to the 6.
And they've got 50 seconds left and 3 timeouts, so they've got plenty of time. They're all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Another great play by Jewell, great throw by quarterback. Good throw and catch, but Jewell has really burnt the Trojans. Trojans need to make some adjustments at halftime on Jewell.
Jewell lines up here on the far right side, and they're looking for him again, and it's an incomplete pass. Looked like Johnston was trying to stop his throw, and the ball came out of his hand, and it is an incomplete pass, 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. He was looking for Jewell on a crossing.
Yeah, I think somebody for Center Grove jumped that route right there, and he got ready to throw it, and he kind of short-armed it, threw it into the ground.
I think it might have been Ackerman that jumped the route.
I think Ackerman jumped the route, and if he threw it where he wanted to, he was going to intercept it.
They did that little pick play here on the right side, and Jewell went inside, and I believe it might have been Ackerman from the safety position that jumped in there. Ball at the Trojan 8-yard line, 33 seconds to play. Perry with the handoff, and Dimitri Wilson wraps him up, and the Center Grove Trojans throw him down to the turf. Clock is stopped with 28 seconds. A timeout called by Coach Peebles. He tried to fool the Center Grove defense, and the Center Grove Trojans were not fooled at all.
So far, Center Grove's defense has done an outstanding job here down on the goal line. I mean, they gave up the big play to Jewell, but they didn't hang their head. I mean, they've stepped right back up. They made a good play on 1st down right there on 2nd down, where you have a lot of options. I mean, you can run the football. They can throw a little hook pass. I mean, a lot of things that you have to defend, and Center Grove has done an excellent job of defending down on the goal line.
It's at halftime at Pike High School. The Red Devils lead Warren Central 7-6. For the Warriors, they kicked a couple of field goals by Max Hernandez from 21 yards out and 27 yards out. Pike scored a touchdown in the 1st quarter in that one.
Well, it's 21-7. You got 28 seconds to go at halftime till halftime, and Southport knocking on the door. 3rd down.
Ball at the 9-yard line. Penalty flags down. Movement by the Southport Cardinals. It'll be 3rd and 14. 3rd and goal from the 14-yard line. Movement by the Southport Cardinals. 28 seconds left to play here in the opening half. Ted, I do believe Southport still has 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, I think so too.
So if they do not get the touchdown, they may need to use that 1 timeout to try a field goal.
Well, you would think that it would be an incomplete pass. You would not think they're going to run it right here. You'd think they throw it.
Bad snap.
Now they'll have to use it.
Bad snap. And Johnston barely got it back in time. Amaro nearly got to the football. Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, got a bad snap.
I mean, I don't know if they're in field goal position now. I mean, hell, you're looking at a 38 yarder, 39 yards. I mean, in the NFL, that's a gimme, but in high school football, 38, 39-yard field goals are not gimmies.
Jacob Jurgen, the senior kicker for Southport, he is 3 of 6 on field goals this season. His long, 27 yards. Timeout called by Southport with, 1.8 seconds to play. The ball, middle of the field. place at the 22. So it would be a 39-yard field goal attempt if they elect to go for a field goal. Again, a 39-yard attempt, and his long this season is 27.
They sure don't look like they're lining up to go for a field goal. It looks like they're over there maneuvering, trying to figure out some way to try to get this football in the end zone. If they're going to go for it, as it looks like they are here on 4th down, they need to identify number 4 on the other side of the field, Dylan Dallas, because he's going to be putting pressure on that quarterback.
Should be the final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. It's from the 22-yard line, 4th and goal from the 22. Again, a second, .8 remaining. Johnson looking right, across the middle. He's got a man, and they're going to tackle him inside the 5 at the 4, and that will be the end of the half. The pass was complete to who else? Tim Jewell.
Yeah, who else?
Their fantastic senior wide receiver, but he is tackled at the 4-yard line, and that will be your halftime. Center Grove in front, 21-7 over Southport here in this Class 6A regional championship game. The winner advances to the Final Four next Friday night. Stay tuned. Our Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show is coming up next. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
Welcome to the Ray Skillman Automotive Group halftime show. Ray Skillman, a proud supporter of Center Grove Trojan football. Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. And here at intermission, the Center Grove Trojans in the Class 6A regional championship game, leading the Southport Cardinals 21-7. Special guests join us here at halftime, the president of the Center Grove Athletic Booster Club, Mike Combs. And Mike, you like me both, we've got some boys playing here tonight, and this is just a special evening of football. Big crowd, and the atmosphere is wonderful, and we're seeing quite a football game.
Oh, it could have easily been 35-7 or 21-21, the way the airs were working there at the end. But the defense stepped up right at the very end, made a big play at the 2-yard line, and kept up with a nice spread.
Mike, I know your son does a long snapping on the punts, and I know that's sometimes not easy to watch. You always hoping for that good snap.
Yeah, I'm about the only one that really pays attention to that until he messes up, which he's done a couple times. But for the most part, he's doing a pretty good job.
Mike, you do so much with the Center Grove Athletic Booster Club. Again, you're the board president, and the Athletic Booster Club supports in so many ways throughout the year for all the sports here at Center Grove High School. Just talk about some of the great things you guys have been able to do here this fall.
Well, a lot of it has been getting things ready for the spring event. Like we just purchased for the long jump, we purchased a sand pit for the kids to use during track season. We also just purchased about $2,000 worth of mats for the cheerleaders to use, because they have the severe injuries that the football players get as well. And Miss Kitchell suggested that would be the best way to absorb. And the cheerleaders are athletes as far as we're concerned, and we were very happy to do that for them.
Also, I know not too long ago, the Booster Club was able to purchase a lot of, machines for inside, if you will, for conditioning purposes. I know a lot of the other mixed schools had that kind of equipment, and Center Grove was able to do a major upgrade.
Yeah, when I started looking around the other schools within the MIC-Conference, we really weren't competitive with what we had. So the Booster Club last year spent about $28,000 to get machines so that the kids could get loose on them. If they had an injury, they could walk on the treadmills, and they could use them year-round. We just don't have the facilities previously to compete where the Booster Club and the school thought that we'd be equal with everybody else. Now that we have this machinery, I feel like we're stepping forward, and each year we're going to want to build, maybe spend $8,000 to $10,000 on new machinery so we can try and keep up with everybody else and really just get ourselves even with the other schools in the conference if we want to compete at the highest level.
Also, something recently purchased in the last year or two was the Huddle software program, which allows the Center Grove athletes to receive basically video highlights maybe of themselves or their team, or possibly game film on other teams. But again, that was something that was needed, and it's just a wonderful resource for the Center Grove coaches and athletes.
Well, the Huddle system is great for the kids to learn and be watching in their video. But the best thing is, if you have a child who plays athletics at Center Grove, is they can just make a CD of themselves playing sports, and then they're able to send it off to all these college coaches. Now, we all would love our children to be able to play college athletics. That CD that they're able to burn and hand to a coach is a great way to do it, because the coaches can just pick when their number, say my son's number 46, they can pick out every time he's been on the field. We can send that to the other schools. They can watch, and it's been just a tremendous advantage for our coaching.
Again, we're spending some time with Mike Combs here at halftime. He's the president of the Center Grove Booster Athletic Club. And Mike, there might be a lot of Center Grove alumni listening tonight to our broadcasts and fans, and they're always wanting to get maybe more information how they can be more involved with the Booster Club. Maybe pass along ways that people can get involved with the Booster Club program.
Well, there's a couple different ways. You can just contact Joni in Athletic Office. She would have all the information for us. Just call the school and ask for Joni in Athletic Office, or you can contact me directly. It's Mike Combs. I'll give you my cell number. It's 490-4039, 490-4039, and we'd be glad to get any help that we can. All the money that we raise goes toward all the sports at Center Grove. It's just strictly not football, nor baseball, nor basketball. We help cross country just as much as we help football. So any athletic program here at Center Grove, we're going to be helping.
Also, a couple of other big fundraisers for the Booster Club. You've got the sports magazine, which has done very, very well this fall. I believe probably with tonight's game, we've now sold out of all of the sports magazines.
But
1,500, which is fantastic. But again, there might be that business out there that might want to be a sponsor in the magazine, whether it's the fall one or the winter one.
That's a great advertising. It's somewhat inexpensive. I mean, a full-page ad is around $750. You can get a quarter page to around $200, $250. And we give them out at each game. We announce them. They're in every program. We do them for spring. We do them for winter and for fall sports. And it just really supports. It's our major fundraising effort. We also have the golf outing that we do each Thursday before Father's Day. And that's a fun event. We always play that at Dyes Walk Country Club if you've never had an opportunity to play a private golf course here on the south side. And any way that you can contribute, all you got to do is check on our website for the Center Grove schools, call Joni or call myself, and we'd be glad to get you hooked up with anything.
All right, Mike, thanks for taking time for joining us here at halftime. The Trojans look good here in
the
first half. We got to see a little more here in the second half.
I think if we can stop them and then go down the field and score one, I think Kitchell will have a nice, easy night off.
That sounds good. Mike Combs joined us here at halftime from the Center Grove Athletic Booster Club. We appreciate his time joining us here at halftime. Again, the score 21-7, Trojans leading by a couple of touchdowns over the Southport Cardinals. And a scoring summary of the first half. The Center Grove Trojans in the first quarter scored on their opening drive, a 5-yard touchdown run by Max Norris at the 9:42 mark, and then the Trojans scored early in the second quarter with 9:50 to play. A 5-yard touchdown run by Logan Hudson made it 14-zip, but the Southport Cardinals struck with a 35-yard touchdown pass to Jewell with 7 minutes remaining in the first half to close within 14-7. And then late in the opening half, Lane Morris, senior fullback from 1 yard out, made it 21-7. The Southport Cardinals will have the football to begin the second half. Again, the winner tonight advances to the Class 6A Final Four. next Friday night to take on the winner between Warren Central and Pike. And at halftime, the Pike Red Devils lead Warren Central 7-6. The Red Devils with a touchdown in the first quarter, and the Warriors were able to kick a couple of field goals to pull within one at halftime. For the Center Grove Trojans, a win tonight, they would either host Pike next week if Pike wins, or they'll go to Warren Central. And that's the same for Southport. If Southport wins tonight, Southport would host Pike or go to Warren Central. So that's the scenario for your Final Four, the semi-state in Class 6A for next Friday night. Again, 21-7. The Center Grove Trojans lead it over the Southport Cardinals. These two teams have not played one another since 1990. The Center Grove Trojans lost in a sectional game to the Cardinals back in 1990, and prior to that, Center Grove lost to Southport in 1985 in a sectional game. These two teams, even though they're about 10 miles apart, they actually do not play during the regular season. They've only met a couple of times in the state tournament. As expected, capacity crowd here at Center Grove High School, standing room only. Southport bringing a fantastic crowd tonight. We were told that 1,000 tickets were sold ahead of time for the Southport Cardinals. And you look across the way, and they did bring a great fan base. So a lot of red and white here tonight in Ray Skillman Stadium. Take a look at your halftime statistics for Southport. Christian, their top running back, 11 carries for 36 yards. The Center Grove Trojans have done a pretty good job on Christian. Again, over 2,200 yards rushing coming into tonight's game. For the Trojans, Lane Morris had 7 carries, 15 yards. Logan Hudson, 6 carries, 30 yards. Max Norris, 9 carries, 104 yards. He's averaging almost 12 yards per carry. Max Norris with a long 42 yards here in the opening half. And also Tynus McCoy off the bench, the freshman, had a couple of carries for 33 yards. And you look at the team stats, Center Grove with 13 first downs. Southport had 9. And let's see, passing for the Center Grove Trojans, 5 of 7. Threw the one interception here late for 72 yards. That's for Calvert. And for Johnston, he was 12 of 19 passing for 168 yards. He had the one touchdown to Jules. So again, that's a check of your first half statistics. And now Ted Kitchell now rejoins me here at halftime. And Ted, it's always interesting to see what kind of adjustments are made for the second half. And you got one of the best in Eric Moore. He's been doing it 31 years and 15 years here at Center Grove, and he has a lot of tournament experience, but also Bill Peebles. He's been around the block quite a few times himself. He's spent many years at Cathedral. He's won some state championships at Cathedral with their coaching staff, and now doing a great job at Southport in his 9th year.
Well, if you're Eric Moore, obviously at halftime you're thinking about number 5. I mean, he has been uncoverable, and he has made some huge plays for Southport to keep them in this football game. So you've got to make adjustments. You've got to put safety leaning to him at all times, know where he is on the field at all times. They came into this football game thinking about number 29, making sure that they stopped him, Perry, and they've done a pretty good job of clamping him down, but now number 5's gotten away from him. So it's always something if you're a football coach. It's always something. So Coach Peebles has to think, okay, now that we've gotten the passing game going, maybe we can get the running game going in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see, when they come out here, Southport will get the football to start the second half. Let's see if they are able to move the football down the field. This year, this Center Grove defense has stepped up every time that it's been asked to. And I would not be surprised at all to see them step up, make a couple big plays, get their offense the football back. And if Center Grove could get the football and take it down and score, it would be huge for them.
I would say, Ted, that play here at the end of the first half by the Center Grove defense was huge. To make that tackle at the 4-yard line to keep Southport out of the end zone. Again, if they get that score, they're down 1 touchdown. They do receive to begin the second half. You get a score there, now you're talking about a tie ball game.
Yeah, it really is a huge momentum change. I mean, if they're able to score, and that's why, the pass, Luke has not thrown a lot of loose passes this year, but the one pass he threw there late in that half, I'm sure Eric Moore would like for him to take back. I mean, it was kind of down the middle of the field into coverage. You've got to be very careful in that situation. You've got to be really sure of yourself that somebody's open, because turnovers can really turn into big plays. Luckily, his defense pulled him out right there, and they made a couple of huge plays right there because, number 5, Jewell, has been a one-man wrecking crew on the other side of the football. Luke Jackson's been able to throw the football. Jewell's been able to catch it, and it's been very, very good to watch. A receiver like Jewell, the way he's worked out there on the football field.
Some other regional championship scores from up north. Penn shutting out Lake Central 20-0. That's in the second quarter. At halftime, Carmel leads Fort Wayne Carroll 17-0. We last reported that at halftime, Pike was leading Warren Central at halftime 7-6. And here at intermission, Center Grove in front of Southport 21-7. So those are your scores in the Elite 8 in Class 6A. Center Grove back on the field warming up, preparing for the second half, and we do see Southport across the way also back out on the field stretching and preparing for the second half. Again, a cool night tonight here at Ray Skillman Stadium. Temperatures now probably mid to lower 40s. Game time temperature was 46 degrees. So again, a cool, crisp evening here at Ray Skillman Stadium. And the horn by Mr. Chris Hudson means that is the conclusion of halftime. Halftime show being presented by Ray Skillman Automotive Group. Ray Skillman, where we stack them deep and sell them cheap. Ted, any surprises with the scores tonight? Penn over Lake Central 20-0. No surprise there. Carmel at halftime leading Fort Wayne Carroll 17-0. And Pike Warren Central maybe a little bit of a surprise. Not much scoring, a lot of defense. 7-6. Warren with a couple of field goals. And what was interesting there, during the regular season, Warren led, I think, 28-0 against Pike at halftime and got beat 38-28. So they got outscored 38-0 in the second half, and Pike won the regular season matchup. But right now it's Pike by 1.
Yeah, since that 38-point comeback, Warren Central defense has really changed. I mean, they've played a lot better defense since that point in time. I don't think there's any question. I think that Carmel is the class of the field in the north part of that section. I mean, even though Penn has had an outstanding year, I think most everybody would bet the house that Carmel would end up coming out of that. So we'll see how that ends up. I thought when I saw Pike play right here on this stadium about the third or fourth game of the year, I thought they were the best football team we had played all year. If you remember, Center Grove was playing good football, and they won that game 14-13 because Pike missed a field goal, or missed a PAT, an extra point. But Pike was the one team that really, up front, they could push Center Grove around. They had a big offensive line. They could run the football. They could get 5-6 yards of push. They looked a little bit like Stanford last night against Oregon. They just pushed you around. And I saw the same thing last week against a very good Ben Davis team. I mean, when Pike puts their minds to it, they've got a lot of talent and they've got a lot of beef up front. So it doesn't surprise me that they're leading Warren Central at half.
Ted, we got a lot of Trojan fans tuning in tonight. Got a shout out here to Brad Riley. Remember Tanner Riley from the 2008 state championship Trojan football team? We got Brad watching tonight from South Dakota. I got a feeling his son Tanner playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
For the Indiana State Sycamores. So again, Brad, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. He says here, go Sycamores, go Trojans. Brad Riley watching tonight from South Dakota.
Yeah, we saw the Tan Man play earlier this year. I think they played IU, and he runs that slot position. There's not much to him. He's not very big, but boy, he is fast.
Our third quarter tonight being presented by Pointer Sheet Metal. When you need to be confident that your project will be handled on time, on budget, and with the quality your standards demand, put Pointer's professionals to work. Pointer Sheet Metal is Indiana's most respected full-service sheet metal and custom metal crafter by bringing deep experience, solid expertise, and dependable performance to projects of all sizes. No job is too large or too small for Pointer's professionals. For more info, go online at pointersheetmetal.com.
Little bit of wind blowing, not much. We started the game and there just wasn't any wind. I mean, if you start the second half here, you want to be awake. I mean, everybody in Indianapolis ought to be aware of that. I mean, everybody remembers you start the second half of the Super Bowl and they onside kick it. So, I mean, you be ready for anything right here.
Let's see if the Trojans might try to kick it deep. Nope, they're going to do a pop-up kick to the near sideline. It's going to be dropped again at the 25-yard line, recovered by the Trojans. Did they get on it?
Oh, yeah.
The Center Grove
Grove's
Trojans.
on it.
Is that
32,
Connor Steve?
I think.
Connor Steve did it last week against Jeffersonville, and he does it again tonight against Southport. Number 45, not once but twice tonight. Kevin Wagner, he's a junior running back, has dropped the football here on the near side, and he does it a second time. The first time it did not cost him. This time it does cost him. Steve recovers at the 22-yard line.
I don't know why they continue to put him over there. Why don't they put one of their wide receivers, put Jewell or somebody over there who can catch the football? I mean,
movement on the right side of the line. Cameron Tidd jumped a little bit early for the Center Grove Trojans. And Ted, they do have Jewell on this side of the field. He's at the 20, but 45 stands in front of him at the 25-yard line. And what's happening, the number 45 player is going back and making the catch.
But he looks so nonchalant. I mean, he's not calling for a fair catch. I mean, he looks
needs
so
to
nonchalant trying to catch the football.
He needs to let Jewell take the football.
Yeah, he needs to let somebody take control of that football. He's fumbled it twice. The first time he got away with it. Center Grove, huge momentum swing right there. They start on their, even though they had a penalty still.
Lane Morris following the penalty on 1st and 15. Runs hard to the 25-yard line.
Eric Moore cannot be happy when you make you get a huge turnover and then you walk out there on offense and you jump offside or you
false
start legal movement. Just that's just mental plays. You just can't make those type of plays to start the second half.
Quick screen pass, caught.
Well done.
Good coverage. Is that Justin Bettito with the reception? Yes, that was Bettito. And with the coverage, is that Kevin Woods again, number 6? He's done a good job.
I think it was. He's done an outstanding job. I mean, he's the one guy who has played the sweep play by far the best, and he did an outstanding job right there on that kind of bubble screen type play.
3rd and 10 at the Southport 22. Handoff to the Rocket. He cuts it up, looking for the end zone. Touchdown!
Well, it was an outstanding block. I mean, he wasn't able to get around the corner. He cut up quickly, but his offensive line got him a huge hole right there. And you're just not going to catch him when he gets in the open. He's just too fast. He's shown us his speed all year. He's just been the premier fast back for Center Grove all year, and he continues to be it here tonight.
Senior Seth Northern, good job by Joey Siderwitz, the sophomore holder. Took a high snap, got it down, and the kick is good by Seth Northern. And Center Grove quickly on the scoreboard to begin the second half, leading now by 3 touchdowns, 28-7.
Yeah, Southport comes out of the half hoping to get the football and score, and maybe look up and see 21-14 instead. You know, a minute and 10 seconds in, they look up and it's 28-7, and things are looking a bit cloudy here on the south side for Southport.
Max Norris, a couple of touchdowns tonight. He has 16 for the season. 96 points now for Max Norris this season. He leads Center Grove in scoring. Seth Northern, he's the number 2 scorer on the team this year.
45's not back there at the 20 this time.
He's been removed from special teams.
45 is no longer back any place near where the football might be kicked.
66 points for Seth Northern, the kicker for the Trojans. Second leading scorer. He's now 60 of 61 on PAT kicks.
If Center Grove's smart, they'll kick it right at him again. He's over at the 30. Oh, they kicked it this way.
And it's going to be taken at the 26-yard line. Big hit by Connor Steeb. Wow. That'll energize your team and your defense. Coach Moore talked about Connor Steeb in the pregame show. How often do you hear a head coach talk about a sophomore that plays special teams?
Well, I thought it was interesting. He said in the playoffs they don't give a player of the week, but he said Connor Steeb would have been our player of the game for last week in Jeffersonville because of the play he made on special teams, and we've seen him make 2 more here tonight. I mean, he is a kid looking for some playing time.
10:43 to play, third quarter. 28-7, Trojans lead it over Southport. First offensive possession for the Cardinals.
Find number 5.
Hand off to Perry, and the Center Grove Trojans, no problem at all. Trojans by committee all over Perry. They'll say no gain on the play.
You got no legs, 29!
Nice push by the front 4 for Center Grove.
Second and 10. Johnston fires. Pass is complete. Going to be just short of the first down. Boy, they're going to give him a good spot. I thought he was a yard short of the first down. The back judge coming in. I thought maybe they'll move the marking of the football, but they're not, Ted. Boy, that's a very favorable spot, and you can hear the boos from the Center Grove fans, rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting kind of right on that line. It didn't look like he got that far before Center Grove knocked him back, but very positive spot for Southport right there. But a great throw.
Inside 10 minutes, third quarter.
Quarterback makes some very good throws for Johnson for only a sophomore.
Perry to the 40-yard line and push back.
You can see Perry comes in here with almost 2,300 yards rushing, but you just are not going to be able to, Eric Moore is not going to allow you to run the football. Unless you have a dominant offensive line that can really push his defensive line around, you are going to have trouble running the football. He's just not going to allow one guy to dominate his team. He takes you away.
Perry, 3-yard gain. Second and 7, 9 minutes to play in the third. Center Grove in front, 28-7. From the Southport 40, pass is complete. Pendergraft with the open field tackle. Pass complete to Clayton Bird, the senior at 5'8", 165 pounds. Short of the first down, third and a couple. Dead in the first half, we felt like at times they were picking on Pendy, the senior cornerback here on the near side, but boy, what a play he made there.
Well, he's made a lot of great plays all year. I mean, he does a nice job of reading. I mean, he's very quick to the football. So the only problem is he's a little small in stature.
I don't think he got it. Let's see, forward progress. He's going to be right at the marker.
Wow, this guy over here gave him a huge spot. I mean, from over here, hell, he's going to get it.
I think it's a first down. Again, the Center Grove fans getting very restless with the spotting of the football. Getting very restless with the officials on the last few plays as far as spotting the football, and they're going to give Perry the first down with the run. So that extends the drive.
Well, there's no question it's a first down where they put the ball down. The only problem was the runner never got up that far to that point. So it's a real positive spot. But, hey, if you're Southport, you're going to take whatever you can get at this point in time. I mean, you need to keep moving the chains and try to put points on the board. I don't know what we're waiting on. What are we waiting on here?
Clock is stopped with 8 minutes, 2 seconds. Do we have a clock issue? I think they want to reset the clock because I believe the clock operator did not realize it was a first down because you stop the clock on a first down. So I think they're going to ask for a reset on the clock. So we're trying to figure out what the clock should be. Right now it says 8 minutes, 2 seconds.
Well,
now
it's
they put
8:05.
8:05. They added 3 seconds. Let's see if that's what the officials want.
There we go. 8:12.
8 minutes, 12 seconds now on the clock.
I thought I had just lost 6 or 7 seconds of my life, but I just got it back.
Johnston hands it off to Perry. And a good job by the Center Grove defense. They stack him up at the line of scrimmage, and then they
look how they
push
gang tackle. Wow.
Ted, I've always heard the Center Grove defensive coaches, they talk about it. When they want to take a picture of the running back being tackled, they want to see 6 or 8 red jerseys in that picture surrounding the football making a tackle.
And that's usually what you see. They definitely bring a group when they make a tackle.
Second down and 10. Ball at the Southport 47. 7:25 to play here in the third quarter. Flag down, far sideline.
Movement.
False start against the Cardinals.
So now they're looking at second down and 15.
Ted, this third quarter, it's going by pretty fast. Center Grove with one score here in the second half, and Southport just now on its first drive of the second half, and they're trying to get the ball past the 50.
Yeah, they've not helped themselves out coming out of halftime. They had to have been thinking positive things, feeling like they had been able to move the ball against Center Grove, but they flubbed the kickoff. Center Grove able to pick it up, put 7 points on the board, and things have changed drastically for Southport.
Second and 15 going over the top. They're looking for Jewell, and it's incomplete. Did Center Grove catch the ball out of bounds? I believe maybe Wozniak, but anyway, it's incomplete, out of bounds. And the Warren Central Warriors have moved in front of Pike 12-7 in the third quarter. Jeff George Jr. throws a 14-yard touchdown pass to Zachary Gegner to give Warren Central now a 12-7 lead over Pike. Here at Center Grove, it's the Trojans 28, Southport 7. Third and 15. Johnston looks right, looks left. Now he's under pressure. Steps up in the pocket, delivers. It is a completed pass and taken down. Let's see where they spot it. I think he's going to be right at the sticks.
He's right there.
Clayton Bird, where he made the reception with forward progress, he might be just short of the first down. It's going to be real close, Ted.
Well, Southport seems to be a very intelligent football team. Early on in the game, they would go as far as they needed to. They'd get right at the sticks. Right there, I mean, he maybe doesn't get as good a mark as he would have liked, but it's fourth down and inches.
Fourth and inches at the moment. Southport lining up as though they're going to go for it. As we know, though, their quarterback, Johnston, is their punter, so he could punt. One this late in the game, they got to go for it.
Yeah, they got to go for it. 28-7. They have no choice.
Perry,
they got it.
Perry, their senior running back, dives forward, marking the football. He was initially hit behind the line of scrimmage, but his second effort.
Yeah, he dove forward, and I think he got it.
Dove, and let's see, Ted. They may have to give this one a measure. It is close. They're going to indicate first down.
I thought so.
The lead referee indicates first down, and Coach Moore wants a measure, and he's not going to win that one.
And you know what? My feeling on that one is if the official feels like he can look over there and he can see that the yard marker is on the line and the football's on the line and it's a first down, then I'm going to give him the first down. Why waste another 2 minutes pulling the chains out there? I mean, it's one thing if it's really close, but if it's a first down, it's a first down. I think he had no doubt it was.
New set of downs. We're inside 6 minutes in the third quarter, and a quick pass to the fullback. He fumbled the ball at the end of the play, Ted. I think Center Grove has it.
Officials saying it's down.
They're going to say he is down. That is the fullback, Chinoya Peary, made the reception. And it will be another first down for Southport, just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll place it at the 32-yard line. And another update from Pike, the Warren Central Warriors following the touchdown pass from Jeff George Jr. They went for 2. They did convert. So Warren leads Pike 14-7, 2 minutes to play in the third. Here it's 28-7 Trojans, 5.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Perry hitting the backfield. He gets away from one tackler but cannot get away from the next 6 Center Grove tacklers. Wow.
Yeah, Center Grove is just totally taking Christian Perry out of the football game. I mean, here's a guy that comes in averaging, I think, over 207 yards a game. He's averaging 7 yards a carry. And Center Grove has pretty much taken him out of the football game, and Southport has got to throw the football if they want to move it.
You're right, Ted. He is averaging 207 yards per game, 7.2 per carry, and not the case so far tonight. He gets back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 10. Johnson looking for that screen pass, goes underneath. It is complete. Trying to bounce it outside is Cardell Tucker, and he gets enough for another Cardinal first down. He's inside the 20.
I'm going to give Coach Peebles some real credit here. I mean, I am very impressed with their passing game. He is, you know, just the little pass they threw just a second ago where they fake it into the middle and then they kind of feed it to that back out of the backfield. I mean, he does a really good job with his passing game and, you know, getting everybody involved, his backs, his wide receivers, everybody involved.
Ball at the Trojan 18, new set of downs. Perry trying to get outside and pretty good yardage on first down.
Yeah, he found a little room that time off the left tackle.
We'll see Dimitri Wilson, big number 77, run out there, replacing Javon Swan. Get a little more beef on that D-line.
Looks like he got about 6 yards on first down, so second and about 4.
Taking quite a bit of time here on the clock. We're down to 4 minutes in the third quarter. The Cardinals are down 3 scores. This is their first offensive drive of the second half. Quick pass through a dart, touchdown.
Jewell.
Well done.
Number 5.
He threw a dart to Tim Jewell, the senior, with the second touchdown grab of the night. That one from 12 yards out.
Once Jewell catches it, he's got some good feet underneath him too. I mean, he can maneuver, be able to get around the defender, get in the end zone. So, you know, they come in averaging, you know, a number of yards on the ground, but they're having to throw for it. But they show you they're very versatile and they can do a lot of different things.
PAT kick by Jurgen is good, 28-14. Southport cuts the deficit in half with 3:54 remaining in the third quarter in this Class 6A regional championship game. Winner goes to the Final Four to take on either Pike or Warren Central, and late in the third quarter, the Warriors in front of Pike 14-7. Great night of football across the state of Indiana. In Class 6A, you're talking about the Elite 8 regional championship games. In the other classes, you're talking about the sectional championship.
Well, it's been a good football game here. I mean, Southport's just kind of put themselves in a bind by making a couple of blunders. I mean, you come out of the second half, you've got a chance to catch that football, get good field position, move it down, maybe score. Instead, you fumble it, give it to Center Grove, and they only have to take it 20 yards. So for Southport to come back after that, onside kick.
Onside kick.
It's loose.
Wow, big scramble for it. Let's wait to let this unravel. You knew it was coming.
I think Southport got it.
And they're going to say Center Grove recovered it. Center Grove. It probably is Center Grove, then Southport, back to Center Grove. You don't know how many times it changes hands under the pile, but end result, the Center Grove Trojans come out with it.
Well, things can change quickly on an onside kick. I mean, all of a sudden, you know, Southport recovers that 2 or 3 plays, they score, and you look up, it's 28-21. Last night I'm watching that Stanford game, and they're just dominating the game. All of a sudden, you know, Oregon blocks a kick, scores a touchdown, and then they get an onside kick and score a touchdown, and here's a game that was not even competitive, and now all of a sudden it's close.
Max Norris, stiff arm, gets the first down on the edge. Flag comes in late, maybe a face mask on Max Norris, a face mask against Southport.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think he grabbed it, but I think he just it'll probably be the 5-yard variety.
As we see Norris going back to the huddle, you can see him readjusting his chin strap. It was ripped off, and it will be against Southport. So there was some tug at the face mask.
Let's see if it's 5 or 15.
And at the moment,
he didn't say personal foul.
It appears he picked up 9 to 10 yards on the carry. No, more than that. I'm sorry. He's going to be down here at the 36-yard line. Now tack on some more yardage. It will be, bottom line, a Center Grove first down.
Yeah, 5 yards.
Ball at the Southport 31. 3:46 to play in the third frame here at Ray Skillman Stadium. Handoff to Lane Morris. Take it down at the 26.
Picking his way right off tackle. Right tackle right there. I mean, just important yards right there. Five yards.
This is where you want to, I know you want momentum here on offense, but also you want to work some clock. If you're the Center Grove Trojans, up by a couple of scores, 3:20 left to play in the third. Handoff right back to Lane Morris, the senior fullback. He is pounding away at this Southport defense. He's to the 20-yard line. First down, Trojans. Ted, we saw it last week against Jeffersonville in the second half. A lot of Lane Morris, a heavy dose of the senior fullback, because in the second half, the Trojan offensive line starting to wear down the defense.
Well, your fullback in most cases doesn't get a lot of pretty yards, but he gets a lot of important yards. And at this time of the game, I mean, they're important yards because they continue to move the chains and the clock keeps moving up.
Center Grove with a false start.
Is that 78?
78 took off too soon. Max Gagloza Jr., backup tackle. 5-yard penalty. A couple of false starts we've seen out of the Center Grove Trojans tonight, maybe 3 or 4 actually.
Yeah, you've got to keep your mental composure. I mean, you got to be concentrating on what's going on out there. Can't make mental mistakes. You watch the good teams play, and they do not make mental mistakes.
Logan Hudson lines up in the backfield. He is tackled immediately.
I mean, I know I keep going back to the Stanford and Oregon game, but last night I'm watching Stanford. I don't think that Stanford had a penalty the entire game, and somebody said they didn't have a holding penalty for the last 5 games or something like that. I mean, that is concentrating on what you're doing and doing it well. And it's the same type of thing when you watch an Alabama team, and that's usually what you're watching with Center Grove, a team that's very mentally strong, mentally tough, and does not make mistakes. And here they're offside, or they're moving again.
False start against the Center Grove Trojans. From Pike, the Red Devils respond with a scoring drive of their own. They have now tied the Warren Central Warriors at 14 apiece. 11 minutes left to play in that one.
I think that the Pike Red Devils are most dangerous when they're behind. I mean, we saw them play from behind to here all night against Center Grove, and yet they could move the ball very consistently and very easily up and down the field and tie you up. Now, they never took the lead on Center Grove, but it was an outstanding football team.
With the penalty, Center Grove now faced with 2nd and 20. They pump it to Hensley, going over the top to the end zone. Hensley, did he hang on? Touchdown! 30-yard touchdown to the junior, Devin Hensley.
He's been a difference maker. I mean, I told you I knew this kid when he was just a young kid. He used to follow us around on AAU basketball, and he was out there running up and down the court. He just loved to be on the stage. He loved to play it, you know, and here he's finally gotten a chance out here playing for this great Center Grove football team. And he has made some unbelievably big plays for this football team here tonight.
6 touchdown receptions for Hensley. The PAT is good, and with the touchdown by Luke Calvert, he ties the great Jordan Llewellyn for the career mark for most touchdown passes here at Center Grove. So Luke Calvert needs one more to set the school record. He has tied Jordan Llewellyn.
Well, the other thing is Center Grove put themselves in a bind right there. It looked like they had taken themselves out of scoring position. They had first down on the 20. They had 2 penalties. All of a sudden, it's like second or third down and 20. And yet Luke Calvert makes an outstanding throw. It was a out and up go pattern, and Devin Hensley just makes an outstanding play on the football. He does an excellent job of playing the football, and the defender tried to stay with him, but he just out-jumped him and able to come down with him.
Ring the bell for the touchdown for the Center Grove Trojans. Another $10 from the Center Grove Gridiron Club being donated to the Tyler Jennikin Foundation to aid in the fight against cancer. Center Grove in front by 3 scores, 35-14. Nathaniel Snyder, sky kick, actually goes a little bit deeper with it to the 14-yard line. Jewell, he's dangerous. They keep him inside the 30. Well done by the Center Grove special teams, keeping him at the 29-yard line. And Ted, here's the attendance figure for tonight's regional championship game, 4,355. So didn't quite set the record. The record is 5,890 back in 2003 when the Trojans hosted Warren Central in the Final Four. So again tonight, the attendance from the athletic department here at Center Grove High School, 4,355. A minute 49 remaining in the third. Trojans 35-14 over Southport. Center Grove has scored twice here in the third quarter, and Southport has 1 score. Quick screen pass, good for a few yards.
Accolades to the Southport program and their fans too, because you look across the way and there's a lot of people standing on the other side. The stands are full, and there's a lot of people standing watching this football game. So Southport did a nice job of supporting their football team and coming down here to Center Grove to watch them play here this evening.
3-yard gain for the Cardinals on the passing play. Johnston stands tall in the pocket, hits Jewell, close to another first down. And with the spotting of the football, they move the chains for another Southport first down.
We got a number of people reffing here in the Center Grove stands. They think they could do a little better job of marking that football than the officials are.
Inside a minute here in the third quarter. Final seconds. Perry hit behind the line, dropped for a loss. Great penetration by the Center Grove defense. Perry just not able to get on track tonight with the running game.
Yeah, you have to know if you're Bill Peebles coming in here tonight, Coach Eric Moore is not going to let the guy that you want to hand that football to, and you've handed it to 300 or 250 times this year, 360 times, I think. He's not going to let you do it.
Final play of the third quarter. Johnston, sophomore, fires low, incomplete pass. We'll have one more play. 5 seconds remaining. Up north, the Carmel Greyhounds taking care of business, leading Fort Wayne Carroll 31-0. That's late in the ball game. Warren Central and Pike, last report, tied at 14 apiece. Third and 12. Johnston, picked off. Aaron Hunt with the return, looking for the pick six. He is thrown out of bounds. Final play of the third quarter, senior Aaron Hunt picks off Johnson after the ball was tipped at least 3 times, and the safety, Aaron Hunt, behind the play, picks it off.
That's why you do the tip drill. I mean, they run it every day in practice. You know, tip it here, tip it there, tip it there. Somebody finally comes up with it. I mean, it hit a hand. The receiver tipped it. Another defender tipped it, and Aaron Hunt finally picked it off. Center Grove going to have the football at about the 18-yard line. Got 18 yards between them and 7 more points.
After 3 complete at Ray Skillman Stadium, Center Grove in front, 35-14. This is Center Grove Trojan football.
Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Welcome back to Center Grove football. Kevin Conrad, Ted Kitchell with you tonight. The Trojans just picked off Johnston. Great field position to begin the fourth quarter. Ball at the Southport 18-yard line. Lane Morris, senior fullback, gets the carry. Gets a couple to begin the fourth quarter. Halftime score from up north. Penn, number 1 team in the state, undefeated, just like Southport. Only 2 teams remaining that remain undefeated, leading Lake Central 20-0 at halftime. Logan Hudson looking for the end zone. He's down to the 4-yard line. Nice run by the senior, Logan Hudson. So mark him at the 5.
Well, he did a nice job of cutting and turning it up as soon as he got around the end right there, rather than trying to run it all the way to the sideline. Did a nice job turning it up and got it down to the 5.
First and goal at the 5.
Comes Lane Morris.
Lane Morris, touchdown, 5-yard run.
Slowly but surely, they're just wearing you down. And they're doing it here to this Southport defense. They continue to just put the hammer on you.
That's power football. That's what you see in the MIC conference. Lane Morris, couple of touchdown runs tonight for the Trojans. That one goes for 5 yards. South Northern prepares for the extra point kick. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 42-14, Trojans with a commanding lead over the undefeated number 4 Southport Cardinals.
Not surprising to me to watch this Center Grove team kind of slowly take Southport apart. I mean, Southport, has made some outstanding plays. I mean, I've been very impressed with Jewell. Their sophomore quarterback Johnson has been very impressive. I was afraid coming into the game that they would not allow Christian Perry to run the football. I mean, just not going to happen. I mean, they're going to take something away, and that's going to be the number one thing they're going to take away and make you pass the football. So that's why Jewell's been open a few times, and he's been able to make some plays. But the MIC teams are used to playing at such a high level all the time that they just start wearing you down. And you can see here late in this second half that this Southport team seems to be a little weary here as this Center Grove team continues to wear on them.
Lane Morris, 7 touchdowns on the season. South Northern now 62 out of 63 on extra point kicks. They'll pop it up here to the near side. It'll be taken at the 25-yard line, and the return man, good job. He gets down the sideline, now steps out of bounds at around the 43-yard line. Good return for the Southport Cardinals. Now it is Cardell Tucker with the return.
He's not very big. I'll tell you what, but I'll tell you, he made a heck of a return.
And talking a little trash following the play, that's Cardell Tucker. He's a junior at 5'7", 170 pounds.
Yeah, 5'7". I mean, I knew he wasn't very big coming down that sideline, and after he made a nice little run, although it looked like he got up to about the 50, they're going to mark him out at the 43. So But yeah, he was talking just a little bit of trash.
Our fourth quarter tonight being presented by Allstate Insurance Bontrager Agency of Greenwood. 42-14, Trojans in the driver's seat, and a big hit on the fullback. He is hit at the 50-yard line. Good job by the Center Grove defense. I believe that was Aaron Hunt, the safety, with the initial hit on Peary. Picks up 7 yards, a tough 7 yards. And Ted, when you're down 42-14, those sting a little bit more.
Yeah, they sure do. And if you're Southport, you got to really be careful because Center Grove can take chances here. They can jump the route. I mean, you got to really be careful what you're doing. Center Grove come up with another turnover.
2nd and 3. He's looking left, going over the top. Who else? Jewell. Out of bounds, incomplete. Good coverage by Ryan Pendergraft, the senior cornerback.
It was exactly the same play we saw him run on the other sideline when Jewell jumped up over the top of Pendergraft and tried to make the play, and Pendergraft was saying, okay, I saw you do it once, but we're not going to have that happen again. So he did a nice job of playing the football right there.
Ted, we will continue to keep an eye on that game up at Pike. Warren Central and Pike still tied at 14 apiece. Actually, it is now Pike in front. Wilkerson for Pike scores from 6 yards out to give Pike a 21-14 lead over Warren Central. 9:22 left in the fourth. So Pike has moved in front. If Pike wins that again, they would come here to Center Grove for the Semi-State next Friday night. 2nd down and 8 for the Cardinals. Quick pass to Jewell, and he gets away from Pendy, but I believe he steps out of bounds right at the 48-yard line. First down is at the 47, so about a yard short. Jewell's been splendid tonight for Southport. Couple of touchdown receptions. He's got the 2 scores tonight for Southport. Playing his final game. He's a fine-looking senior. He's played a heck of a ball game tonight for the Cardinals. Perry picks up the first down. Some tough yards, though. He needed 1 for the first down. He picks up 3. He gets it to the 45-yard line. Again, some tough yards for Perry.
Yeah, if you're Southport, you don't really want to have to run it, but you got to pick up the first down right there. It's 3rd down and 1, so you want to make sure you get a new set of downs, and they did.
Ted, Center Grove defeated Warren Central in Week 1 at Warren Central, 21-10. First time the Trojans have ever won at Warren Central. And then the Trojans beat Pike here in Week 4, 14-13. So it'll be an interesting
fumble.
Dylan Dallas forces the fumble, recovered by John Dever. Dylan Dallas finally records his first sack of the night. They've done a pretty good job on Dylan, but that time Dallas beat his man, and they got the sack, forces the fumble, and for Dylan Dallas, he now has 9.5 sacks on the season.
Yeah, he's the sack leader for this Center Grove defensive team, and he's the guy that most teams really work at trying to keep out of their backfield, and they've done a pretty good job. Southport have done a pretty good job with it all evening, but right there he slipped a block. He's able to knock the ball away from Johnson, the quarterback, and Deaver able to pick it up.
9:47 to play in the fourth. Titus McCoy, freshman, across the 40. Our fourth quarter being presented by Allstate Insurance Bontrager Agency of Greenwood. The Bontrager Agency is located at 395 South State Road 135, or contact the agency at 317-888-3200. You're in good hands with Allstate.
See, now this is when Luke really, I mean, even though there's 9 minutes left in the game and you got a huge lead, here's where you need to work the clock down. I mean, there's no need to snap it with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. I mean,
Calvert extends the play. O'Brien with the catch. He's to the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, O'Brien. Matt O'Brien. If he stayed in bounds at the score, it is a touchdown for the Center Grove Trojans. 40 yards on the touchdown pass. O'Brien made the grab, broke an arm tackle down the sideline for the score, 48-14, all Center Grove.
Well, they've got a lot of weapons. Center Grove, they've got speed, they've got strength up front, and they've got about 4 guys that can catch the football. And they've got a quarterback that's able to find them as the extra point is good. They seem to be hitting on all cylinders, and it looks like they're going to get a regional championship here tonight, and they'll be looking at a Final Four appearance next week.
And Ted, with that touchdown, Luke Calvert sets the career record here at Center Grove High School. He surpasses the great Jordan Llewellyn for career touchdowns. So congratulations to Luke Calvert. Most touchdowns in a season, in a career, and also the most passing yards in a season. So what a fabulous performance tonight by the senior Luke Calvert. And again, in the Indy Stars today, being considered as one of the candidates for Mr. Football.
When I see Luke Calvert, I don't think of just necessarily a great individual, but I think of a great team player. I mean, and I think that's what this Center Grove team is all about. I mean, a bunch of seniors working hard. They've worked hard for a long period of time, trying to accomplish something. He's a good leader on the offensive end. You got Dylan Dallas on the defensive end, Ackerman. The individual accomplishments are great, but the team accomplishments are something that people never forget.
Sky kick to the near sideline, taken by 21, David Simmons, and the Trojans push him out of bounds with 9 minutes remaining here in tonight's regional championship game. Center Grove in front, 49-14. Center Grove led after the first quarter, 7-0. Halftime score, Trojans by a couple of scores, 21-7. At the end of the third quarter, 35-14, and Center Grove really extending its lead here in the fourth quarter. And we do see a few new faces in there now for the Center Grove Trojans on defense. We see Josh Hart, junior defensive back, number 23 in there. On the far side, we do see Zach Hart, number 25. Also, we see in there as well Cole Fresher, a junior safety. So again, a few fresh faces in there for the Center Grove defense. Pass is complete for a first down. Pike leads Warren Central 21-14, inside 8 minutes to play. Now it's down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes in that ball game. Again, Pike in front, 21-14. Pass is complete to the far side. Center Grove rides the receiver out of bounds. 8:35 and counting left in this one. Ted, for Southport, splendid ride this year, undefeated during the regular season. Penn, the only other undefeated team in 6A. Penn will win tonight up at Lake Central. So again, the Cardinals, special season. Again, the conference champs, and they felt like they had something for Center Grove tonight. But you're right, it's just so difficult to keep up with the Trojans over the course of 4 quarters.
Well, that's what these teams find that don't play in the MIC-conference. I mean, you come in and start playing in it, and it's just so hard to play at that level for that long period of time. I mean, these kids have gotten used to playing at that level because they have to play at it all the time. I mean, so that's how they play all the time. And you can see the Southport team was really good in spurts tonight. I mean, Jewel, was outstanding. Perry, outstanding running back at times, but just for the entirety, they just are not able to stand up. The offensive and defensive lines just that much better for Center Grove, and after a long period of time, they just start wearing you down, and all of a sudden, you look up and you think it's been a pretty competitive football game, and it's 49-14.
Carmel leading Fort Wayne Carroll 38-7. That's late in the ball game. So Carmel will return home next week to play Penn in the Final Four on the north side of that bracket. Center Grove will either be at home against Pike or go to Warren Central. That game is still too close to call. Ted, I mentioned before, Center Grove has only won once at Warren Central in all these years. That was week 1 this season. It would be difficult to go there a second time in the same season and try to duplicate that. Not impossible, but difficult.
Yeah, they're not a real impressive team when you watch them offensively. I mean, obviously, we all got used to watching some of those teams play. We got used to watching some of those teams play. I mean, I remember sitting at a basketball game and asking them what the state finals was. It was halftime. It was 50 to nothing when Desmond Tardy and some of those guys were playing it. And they don't do anything like that as far as putting the numbers on the board that they do. But they've got great athletes. Jeff George seems to manage the football team and seems to do a pretty good job. And defensively, they've gotten a lot better. But still, I agree with you. I think it would be very difficult to go over to the east side of town and bring home a second victory. I think Coach Moore would much rather do it here on the south side of town.
Not for sure why we had the delay on the field, but now we're ready for action. 8:20 and counting in this one. 49-14, Center Grove in the driver's seat. 2nd and 5 here for the Cardinals. Handoff going to, nope, they fake it, and it's picked off. Picked off by number 21, Cole Fresher. He just checked in the ball game. He's battling back from injury. Well done, young man. The junior, Cole Fresher, picks off the pass. His first INT this season.
Well, he's obviously done his homework. I mean, he jumped the route right there. He knew what route they're looking at. He knew what personnel they had in the game, who they were looking to throw to. It looked like they were probably trying to throw to number 5, Jewel, again right there, and he just stepped right in front of him, picked it off.
Joey Siderwitz, sophomore quarterback now in for the Trojans, among others.
You would think that they would have him work the shot clock down here, and they would have him, try to use up as much clock as possible each and every play.
Lee Klinker, sophomore fullback with the run. Also, we see Connor Steeb in there for the Trojans at running back. Tied in is Eric Kwiatkowski, number 86. Jay Doyle brings in the next play. He's a split in. So a lot of reserves getting an opportunity to play for the Center Grove Trojans late in the ball game here in the regional championship. Second and 8. Connor Steeves, first carry. Nice cut back. He's inside the 40 and trips close to the first down. Nice cut back by the young one.
It sure was. I mean, it's so easy just to run to the sideline on that play and hope that, you're able to turn the corner. Instead, he was looking for a hole. He was following his polling lineman right there. He's able to find a hole, and he's able to gain about 8 yards and puts him in a 3rd down and 1 situation.
C.J. Henry, senior split in, brings in the next play, splits out here to the right side. 3rd and 1, ball up to Southport 37. Siderwitz, hand off to Klinker, puts down the shoulder pads, picks up the first down.
I mean, if you're one of the younger players right now and you think, we're in there, it's mop-up time, it's 49-14, blah, blah, blah. Hey, this is the time when Coach Moore is watching. I mean, he has got an eye out. Who is interested? Who cares? Who is going to do the things needed that I can move them into a position next year that we need them in? I mean, this is when they need to understand that every play is important. Every block is important. Every run is important. I mean, everything's important. Another great run.
Connor Steeb, sophomore, inside the 20. And another update from Pike. The Warren Central Warriors tied the Red Devils at 21 apiece. An 11-yard touchdown pass from Jeff George to Darius Lee with 4 minutes left in the game. Again, Pike and Warren, 4 minutes to play, tied at 21 apiece. So the Trojans will either host Pike or go to Warren Central. That one's still in doubt. Tied late. No doubt here at Ray Skillman Stadium. Center Grove 49-14 with 6.5 minutes to play. Lee Klinker straight ahead running, looking for the end zone, taken down short of the 5. Here's another great up-and-coming star for the Center Grove Trojans. Lee Clinker, he's got the full package. He's got power and speed.
Just plug him in. Next man up. I mean, if you've ever read the book, the NFL, I think it was Feinstein who wrote the book, Next Man Up. I mean, you got to be ready, and this is a Center Grove team that really, it doesn't matter who goes down, you know, whatever happens, they don't whine about it. They plug somebody in, they put them in there, and this is why. I mean, you guys like Lee Clinker, I mean, he's ready to go anytime he's called upon.
Looking for the
Stiff
outside.
arm.
Good stiff arm by Calvin Daggett. Calvin Daggett, a 6 foot, 190-pound junior. First carry tonight for Calvin Daggett, and Daggett's got some pretty good numbers this year for the Trojans. Not seen much time tonight, but he's not only a great runner, but he's also a great blocker. He's got 364 yards on the ground. That is, I think, about fourth best coming into tonight's game for the Trojans.
Yeah, he's got a lot of yards. He's only had 37 attempts, I think, for 365 yards. So he's averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's got a great average per carry.
The one thing he needs to do right there is he needs to understand the clock and not go out of bounds. I mean, you want to do everything you can to keep that clock running. Even if you happen to lose a couple yards, go down and get down on the field so the clock continues to run.
Injured player for Southport goes to the sideline. 5:59 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Second down and goal from about the
7-yard line.
Yeah.
David Wilden splits out here to the right side. Siderwich, your quarterback, hand off to Connor Steve, turns it up, looking for the end zone. He's in there. Touchdown, Connor Steve. Ted, you reward the young man. He has made some great special teams plays the last 2 weeks. A couple of recoveries on kickoffs, and he finds the end zone here from 7 yards out.
I don't know him, and I've never met him, but boy, he sure seems like he has a motor that is running all the time. I mean, on kickoffs, the way he gets down the football field, the way he loves to play football, the way he loves to run, hit. I mean, he's got to be a player that Eric Moore just loves having around his football team.
56-14, Seth Northern right down the middle with his kick. 5:54 to play in the fourth quarter. The Trojans, Ted, will remain perfect in regional play, 9-0. Coach Moore will go to 8-0 in regional games.
I thought it was interesting what Coach Moore said. You know, he's in the pregame when he talked about, you know, some people get, you know, to the point where they think that, oh, okay, well, we win regionals, we win sectionals every year. He said sectionals aren't so easy to win. You know, I mean, and having played basketball in this state, I know, and it's not easy, and it's something that this, I think, Center Grove group, they get used to thinking that their football team just automatically ought to be in the Final Four. You know, I think that tells you at what a high level Eric Moore has put your football team. I mean, be thankful that you have somebody that takes care of your football team and your players as well as he does. I know he makes them work hard. I know he can be tough on them at times, but I'll tell you what, you know, to the victor go the spoils, and on the south side of town, Center Grove has got quite a good football team, and they have for a long, long time.
Kick inside the 20. That little guy with the return, boy, he takes some hits, doesn't he, Ted?
Yeah, he sure does.
Stays on his feet. He's a fighter. He's a gamer. A lot of pride in this Southport Cardinal team. That is Cardell Tucker.
Just wear you down. All the MIC teams, whenever they go out of conference and they play these other teams from other conferences, just like Carmel's doing tonight up in Fort Wayne, you know, I'm sure Carroll's got a pretty good football team. They've obviously, you know, won a lot of games this year. What's Carmel do? They just wear you down. All of a sudden you look up, it's 35-3, it's 41-10. These teams are used to playing at a real high level at all times.
So you have, out of your Final Four teams, 3 of them from the MIC Conference. You've got Carmel already there. Of course, Center Grove will come in
Flags.
now. And winner between Pike and Warren Central. So your Final Four in 6A, 3 out of 4 will be from the MIC Conference, as we got flags everywhere on the field. And your lone non-MIC school, Penn, still undefeated, 12-0. Win over tonight against Lake Central. Penn will go to Carmel to play in the Final Four next Friday. So for Coach Moore, now in his 15th year at Center Grove, Ted, his state tournament record, 39 wins, 14 losses. 39 wins, 13 losses, 39-13. And he is 21-6 here at home in the state tournament. And again, perfect in the regional championship game, 8-0, 5-0 here at home in regional games.
Pretty impressive.
Penalty against the Trojans.
He does not have near the athletes that you have at Ben Davis, Warren Central, Pike. I mean, I'm just telling you. I mean, everybody knows that, and yet he continuously gets it done. It's amazing that the belief that these kids have in him and his system, and knowing what can get done.
I mean, we've heard Coach talk about this year's Center Grove team, saying they're average, what they are. They're average, he says, but they play hard. They work hard.
They always play hard.
He talks about the Center Grove Trojan talent. A lot of these guys, he said, are Division two or Division III type players. Occasionally you'll see the Division I player come from Center Grove. But it's not like this team is created with Division I talent.
I mean, you're going to see a lot more Division I talent at Warren Central. You're going to see it at Lawrence Central, Pike, Ben Davis. I mean, we've seen a lot of these kids. We watch them on Saturday afternoon on TV. I mean, and there's not as many of these kids from Center Grove. But when it comes to working hard and believing in themselves, he gets them to believe in themselves. He gets them to believe in one another. They play as a team. They believe in his system. The wing T, if he can get a couple leaders, he's got Calvert on the one side of the ball, he's got Ackerman and Dylan Dallas on the other side of the ball. I mean, it's just amazing the things that you're able to do when you get people that truly believe in what they're doing.
Gavin Everett drops the quarterback Johnston for a loss. Some tough minutes here late in the ball game. These Southport Cardinals, a lot of them, you just look at their body language, a lot of walking around.
The other thing that's impressive to me that he does is the study that they put in. I mean, they don't just show up on Friday nights and play. I mean, they're very well educated as far as what the other team wants to do, what the other team likes to do. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take these things away. I mean, those are things that I didn't start doing until I got to college. When I played for Bob Knight at Indiana, I mean, obviously we game planned to take certain things away. I mean, and it was a job. And that's kind of what Eric Moore does here. I mean, he makes it a job, and he starts, and these kids are able to learn how to break the game down and how to play the game and take things away from other teams.
The Warren Central Warriors are threatening here late. Warren has the ball on the Pike 10-yard line.
Well, we know they can kick field goals. They kicked 2 already tonight. How much time's left?
32 seconds left in the ball game.
Wow.
Warren has the ball on the Pike 8-yard line. Game tied at 21 all. So again, 32 seconds to play. Warren has the ball at the 8. And you're right, they have a great field goal kicker at Warren Central. He's kicked a few already tonight. And turnover on downs here for the Southport Cardinals.
Yeah, Johnson turned around right there to hand it off, and nobody was there. So he just sat down. He said, I've had enough of this, which I think that's what I'd do if I was him also. 3 minutes left, 56-14.
Southport, first loss of the season. They'll move to 11-1, concluding the 2013 season. Again, Conference Indiana champs with a 7-0 record this year.
Well, Coach Peebles has done a great job over there. I mean, he's got these kids believing in what they do. I mean, they obviously came in here tonight. You could see the way they warmed up and the way they played in that first half. They felt like they had a real opportunity to win this football game. And if they, maybe had caught that kick to start the second half and got things started in the right direction, maybe they could have. But instead, it went the wrong way, and all of a sudden Center Grove jumped out to a big lead, and it's been difficult from that time on.
Jackson Holt with the last carry. No gain, 2nd and 10. 2.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. Siderwitz, your quarterback. Handoff coming to the near side.
Good cut.
That's Trevor Holt. Another Holt boy, freshman. We saw him against New Albany. His first carry here in a regional championship. Coach Moore again getting a lot of reserve players in here late in the ball game. Now running on the field is another sophomore split in, Quentin Sturzman. He'll split out to the left side. 2 minutes to play.
Joey's done a good job not getting them up to the line too quickly. He's holding them in the huddle a little bit.
Ted, they're setting up for a game-winning field goal. Hernandez hits the field goal from 21 yards out. Warren Central in front of Pike, 24.
Lose 14.
Holt, that's Jackson Holt, and he is going to be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Jackson Holt with a brilliant run. So again, Max Hernandez for Warren Central, a 21-yard field goal puts Warren Central in front 24-21 over Pike with 7.6 seconds left. 7.6 seconds left. So it looks like Center Grove will be going to Warren Central for the Final Four. The Trojans beat the Warriors in week 1. Can they do it again? Barring a miracle play by the Red Devils. Again, they have 7 seconds to work with, and Jackson Holt puts his hand down to keep the play alive. It looked like to me he kept going, but they're going to blow him dead before progress stops just inside the 10.
Well, there's no question that they can go to the east side and win. They've already done it this year. Sure. I mean, and I'm sure that Warren Central, even though they're going to say, we want to play them again. I mean, they know how good this Center Grove football team is, so they know they're going to have to do their preparation, and they're going to have to be ready to play one of their best football games of the year. It should be an outstanding football game. I mean, Warren Central's got a great, they've won a lot of state titles. They've got a great tradition going over there. He just puts a knee down right there.
Siderwitz with the victory formation takes the knee. You'll have to do it probably one more time, and that will be your ball game. 56-14, the Center Grove Trojans with a great performance tonight against another Southside team in the Southport Cardinals, giving the Cardinals their first loss of the season. Center Grove coming into tonight's game 0-2 against Southport in the state tournament. Third time a charge for the Trojans. That's it. 56-14 the final. Congratulations to Coach Eric Moore and the Center Grove Trojans, regional champs here for the southern part of the state. And it will be Center Grove at Warren Central. It's a final. Warren over Pike, 24-21. So Center Grove will go to Warren Central next Friday night at 7 o'clock to play the Warriors in the Final Four. We'll have the pregame show at 6:30. The winner goes to Lucas Oil Stadium.
Should be a great game. I mean, Warren Central, I love the coach. I mean, you remember that's the coach from the state champions. Lawrence Central last year. Jason West. I love the way he does things. I loved watching his team last year come in here. They don't, nothing really takes them out of what they want to do. They're very focused on running the football and doing what they want to do, playing defense. That's the way Lawrence Central won a state title last year, and I think that's the way he has his Warren Central Warriors playing right now. But we know that they're obviously beatable. We've done it once this year. There's no reason you can't go over there and play even a better football game than you did the last time.
Final score from Ray Skillman Stadium, 56-14, Center Grove over Southport. Coming up next, we will have our postgame show. That's the Center Grove Trojan football.
Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ray Skillman Stadium. Final score tonight, 56-14. The Center Grove Trojans over the Southport Cardinals, winning the Class 6A Regional Championship, advancing now to the Final Four next Friday night, going to Warren Central to take on the Warriors. Center Grove defeated Warren Central in Week 1, and that was the first time and only time the Trojans have ever won at Warren Central. And Ted Kitchell, they'll make a return trip next Friday night to try and do it a second time.
Well, it should be a great venue over there. I mean, that's a difficult place to play football. I mean, they have dominated people over there for years, but we kind of broke the jinx earlier this year when we went in there and won. We went into Carmel and won. So this is the team that can go on the road. They can take their show on the road, and they've done it this year. So they've got enough senior leadership that they'll be ready to play, and I think they've got enough weapons, too, between running the football and throwing the football that they'll make things very difficult for Warren Central.
Our post-game show tonight being presented by Global Financial Solutions. For all your investment needs, contact President Bob Hoffman at 317-888-1555. Global Financial Solutions. Also, big special thank you to Jets Pizza tonight for supplying our pregame meal. And Ted, let's break down this one just a little bit. Again, we talked about it throughout the broadcast. Center Grove just very physical, very dominating, not allowing the Southport Cardinals to get on track with the running game tonight. They took Christian Perry out of the Southport offense, but I was still impressed that Southport was able to throw the ball fairly effectively tonight, especially to Jewell. He had a big game tonight for Southport.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, I was impressed with the football team. I thought they played very well. They played with a lot of poise. They had a lot of belief in what they were doing. They, they just made a couple key mistakes. I mean, they let Devin Hensley a couple times burn them on third down and long, fourth down and long. You just cannot do that. They muffed the kickoff to start the second half. They didn't recover that. Center Grove gets a short field, able to score an easy 7 points right there. You just can't make mistakes like that in a big football game, especially when you're the underdog. I mean, and then as time went on, you just saw the bigger, stronger, the bigger brute kind of wear you down, and that's what Center Grove does. I mean, Center Grove just continuously gang tackles you, and they wear you down. Then you start making mistakes. You turn the ball over. You make interceptions. It was a fine Southport football team, obviously. I mean, they were 11-0 coming in. They leave 11-1, but it was an outstanding football team. They got some great players, and they were a very enjoyable football team to watch. I mean, running and throwing the football.
So your Final Four in Class 6A next week. Penn, undefeated, #1 in the state, going to Carmel, and Center Grove going to Warren Central. And Ted, you made an interesting point, and Jason West, he's the one that put Center Grove out last year in the Class 5A Final Four right here at Ray Skillman Stadium. He was the head coach of Lawrence Central, went on to win the state championship last year in 5A. And now the Trojans have another Final Four appearance against Jason West. This time, though, he represents Warren Central. And Jason West, former assistant coach under Center Grove head coach Eric Moore, so he understands the wing tee offense and what Coach Moore likes to do. But hopefully the Trojans will have something for the Warriors next Friday night against Center Grove. Beat Warren Central. I do believe it was 21-10 in Week 1. And one thing different from Week 1 to now, Week 1 it was very bright. The sun was out all the way through the third quarter, and we always talk about how dark Warren Central is. And now at kickoff at 7 o'clock, it's going to be dark, and it's again the lighting
dark sky.
And it's not very good lighting over there. They wear the black uniforms, so sometimes that lighting can throw you off a little bit.
No question about
home field advantage.
There's definitely a home field advantage, and in the past they've had some of the athletes that they didn't even need a home field advantage because they just had the best teams around. But like you said, I really like Jason West and the way he goes about his business and the way his teams go about their business. We'll see if him being around this Warren Central team, if we see that type of thing, because last year's Lawrence Central team was a very business-oriented team. They went about their business. They did the things that they did. They did them very well, and it led them to a state championship. And I would guess from what I'm watching with Warren Central, the same type of things. I mean, a very strong defensive club, and then you score enough points to win. And so that's what Eric Moore knows what he does. He knows what Eric Moore does. It should be a great football game. Hopefully we'll get some really good weather, just like we had tonight, a nice fall evening, about 40, 45 degrees, and it should be a great venue and a great football game.
Ted, we'll see you next Friday night.
Thank you so much.
Tonight's game was produced by Center Grove Gridiron Productions, New 5 Creative, and CenterGroveSportsNetwork.com. The executive director is Aaron Holt, executive producer Matt Murray, production assistant tonight Kyle Johnson, and also camera operator Austin Tyke. And statisticians John Moore and Jamie Smith. Special thanks to Center Grove Athletic Director John Zwitt and head football coach Eric Moore for their help with tonight's broadcast. Once again, Center Grove beats Southport 56-14 the final. Center Grove improving to 11-1. Southport concludes the season at 11-1. Congratulations to the Trojans for winning the regional championship. Until Friday night, this is Kevin Conrad for Ted Kitchell saying good night, everyone, from Ray Skillman Stadium at Center Grove High School.